It's an oven at Busch Stadium today. Very muggy. 46,000 saw the Cardinals win last night. A crowd not quite that big will watch them go for the sweep today. Your local Chrysler dealers brings you the NL Central standings. Cubs not playing at all this weekend. 17 back of the Cardinals. Houston within 2 in the wild card race. Bob Carpenter, Rick Horton, welcome to a Sunday of Cardinal baseball. The best team in baseball, we might add. And Albert Pujols not in the lineup today. Larry Walker is. And, of course, Scott Rowland is, as well as the left-hander Jim Edmonds.
Well, Jim Edmonds just keeps getting better with age, Bob Carpenter. 34 years of age, and he's having a career season. His career best to date has been the 42 home runs he hit his first year here in St. Louis. But look at those career numbers. 300 career home runs, big milestone for Jim Edmonds, but I think he's got a few more left in his tank.
And that little profile brought to you by First Bank. Be first, bank first. And we're getting ready for the Cardinals and the Dodgers. Jeff Weaver, who has pitched well against the Cardinals in the past. Woody for the Redbirds. Rich is next with Mike Matheny.
What you got there?
I got a camera phone. It's a Kyocera. Shoots video, really easy to use.
Good for you. But check this out. It's got camera mode, phone mode, plus stun mode. I gotta take this.
Wireless phones by Kyocera. All the features, none of the hassles.
I'm still in stun mode.
He's not doing that.
At the Dodge Labor Day clearance, things are moving fast. During Labor Day weekend, get huge deals on the best selection of the remaining 2004 Dodges. Grab the tough Dodge Ram 1500 Quad Cab with 0% financing plus $1,000 cash allowance and $1,500 in bonus cash. Or grab huge cash allowances on the rugged Dakota or the roomy Durango, plus our 770 powertrain limited warranty. So hurry in for the best selection of 04s during the Dodge Labor Day clearance.
Rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep them cards a-rolling. Through the league they're rolling rawhide. Playing great together. Gold gloves made of leather. Knowing their fans are by their side. Hit 'em out. Hit 'em out. Rush 'em back. Pull 'em out. Run it in. Hit 'em out. Rawhide. Throw 'em out. Run 'em in. Set 'em up. Cut 'em out. Mow 'em down. That's a win.
Roller boogie.
Rule number 1, you can't question my ways. I'm the top skate dog.
It's not an official event, but maybe it should be. Let the laughs begin. Malcolm in the Middle.
Premiering September 13th on WB11.
Hey, Mr. Opportunity here. Listen up, folks. Now, that is a beautiful Accord LX, and Honda is having a clearance. We're talking serious deals here, people. Honda plus clearance. Come on, you do the math. Seems like a no-brainer to me, but I'm just two-dimensional. The 2004 Honda clearance. Hey, you snooze, you're gonna lose. Now you can lease an Accord LX for $199 a month for 36 months. And where else? Say it with me, your Honda dealer. I'm Mr. Opportunity, and I am still knocking.
Welcome back. What a beautiful day for baseball. Cards and the Dodgers, game 3 of this series in what Mike Matheny knows is one of the great series in all of baseball. Two teams with such great history.
Well, and two teams playing pretty well this year too, and we know that this LA team is going to come in and they're going to be a tough team. They got all the components and they're playing well, playing with a lot of confidence. So I think everybody around here is excited as they are in a team that out in the West Coast has got a lot of people excited as well. So it makes for good baseball.
Now, I had San Diego in there earlier in the week. The Dodgers here the last couple of nights. How important is it for a team to play good teams that they may see in October?
Well, I think you're going to get tired of the same old cliches I always give you, but it's very important for us not to get too excited or let down against anybody. We play with the same intensity and the same focus on everybody else. And as I say that, I realize that if it's a team that you may play later on, it could have an impact of what goes on then. But right now, I think our important approach is going to be to just play every game like it's the same, no matter who it's against, and day in and day out, we'll play with the same consistency.
Woody Williams goes today. He's been so good, but then again, so is everybody else, huh?
Well, these guys have been throwing out some good outings, and it's been nice to have the bullpen backing them up, and the starters realizing that we're scoring some runs for them. The defense has been playing well behind them, and that the bullpen's been doing their job. And those are those keys that we talked about from day one, that we got to have everything like that working in order for us to play well.
I got to go back a couple of days. Matt Morris threw a 2-hitter against a good ball club. Is that the best game you've seen him throw?
No question, best game this year, and he and I had talked about it, and we think that might be the best one he's ever thrown. And I think for one main reason is that he really pitched. He used all of his stuff. He didn't just rely on one pitch. He used 4 pitches all night long and kept guys off balance, mixing it up, and he had the great life and then executed the right location. And when you do that, you're going to give somebody a long night.
You homered the other night. Everybody else is hitting home runs. It must make a pitching staff pretty happy to go ahead and know they've got this offense behind them.
Well, these guys have been amazing to watch this year. You never know when one of them's going to flip one out or two, and I mean it's impressive to watch, and I'm glad I'm not playing against them. But they've been so good all year long, and once again, it just goes back to trying to keep that same consistency going throughout the rest of the season.
Mike, thank you so much for your time.
All right, Rich.
Mike Matheny, we've got Cards and Dodgers Game 3 of the series coming up. We'll have a construction update for you. That's next.
Announcing the grand finale at your Lincoln Mercury dealer. Your last chance to get incredible model year-end savings on every 2004 Lincoln and Mercury in stock, including the Mercury Grand Marquis, with the only standard V8 and the largest trunk in its class, plus the government's highest 5-star safety rating in all 5 categories. All for around $19,635 after $4,000 cash back, plus an additional $1,000 when you finance through Ford Credit. Get to the grand finale at your Lincoln Mercury dealer before time runs out.
Are you looking for a diamond that is revolutionizing the way we think of diamond cutting? A diamond whose brilliance will set you apart from the rest? The Lucere diamond, with its emerald cut crown and brilliant cut pavilion, has redefined brilliance. It is a diamond with a cut that is as unique and beautiful as you are. Live, love, laugh, light, brilliance. The Lucere diamond, available at Hildebrand Jewelers on the Square in Perryville.
When someone has been badly hurt, seriously injured, they come through that door and expect us to make it right. Their future is at stake, and they don't need lawyers who look at the clock or push papers around. They need a personal injury law firm that takes their injury personally. They not only want that, they deserve that. And we are here to make certain that they get the attention they deserve.
Looking for the best deal on a new or used vehicle? Weeks Chevrolet Pontiac GMC in West Frankfort is the place to do business. Weeks has the largest inventory and the highest sales volume of any dealership in Southern Illinois. This allows them to sell for less and save you money. So remember, don't buy anywhere else until you've checked the price at Weeks. Sales, service, parts, rental, or their state-of-the-art collision center. Weeks can take care of all your automotive needs. Weeks Chevrolet Pontiac GMC, right on the price, right off I-57 in West Frankfort.
Responsibility. Budweiser distributors have it. Local retailers share it. And real friends just reach out and take it. The Heartland Budweiser distributors thank everyone who remembers that responsibility matters this Labor Day. Responsibility matters to all of us. Enjoy a safe and happy Labor Day.
This Cardinal Stadium update is presented by the Jones Company, building homes since 1927. Weather always makes working stadium construction iffy. For example, in the last 9 days of August, 7 of them had rain. That could mess with a work schedule in a hurry.
In the case of a project of this size, and like all baseball work is different than a lot of construction projects, you have to take into account schedule issues because the fact of the matter is it has to be done when they play baseball. So they have spent money and made special provisions so that the weather affects them as little as possible.
Still, construction pushes on. Those who walk by to look, and many do, will notice that the stadium is growing vertically.
Every day on the concourse behind us where the public can walk around, it's a big gallery of people just coming out at lunchtime to watch the progress and see what's going on.
In the next 6 months, a lot of the work will deal with concrete.
A lot of concrete is being poured. They're trying to pour concrete every single day somewhere on the site and have been succeeding in that. You can see the towers are coming up out of the ground. A lot of columns and walls are being poured, and the main concourse structural slab is well underway to start pouring that. So it's just a lot of concrete work going on.
Challenged him, and out to left center it goes. Into the gap, heading for the wall. Cardinals will score. Cedeno around.
Now, the Cardinals are shoo-ins for postseason, and that's a reason to celebrate, but postseason baseball also means construction delays.
We're already planning for some of the things that will have to happen in postseason. It's a different type of game setup for postseason because of all the additional press and TV. We've got to make accommodations for them. The work is going to have to proceed as much as possible, but obviously we've got to play baseball.
Cardinal Stadium update presented by the Jones Company, building homes since 1927. It's the greatest rivalry going. Cardinals and Dodgers starting lineups in first pitch with Bob and Rick next.
Pennzoil, with time-release molecules, delivers non-stop protection throughout the life of your oil. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
Get $5 off a Pennzoil HMV or SUV truck and minivan oil change at Plaza Motors.
It may start with a look. It may start with a sound. It may start with the feel. It may start with the drive. Or it may just start with the price. The newly redesigned C230 Sport Sedan, starting at $29,970. How will it start for you?
Italians say, bring a new dish to the table and you'll bring smiles to everyone.
When you're smiling, when you're smiling.
So Olive Garden introduces 2 new dishes to smile about. New stuffed shells with shrimp, bursting with 4 Italian cheeses and a creamy seafood sauce. And new stuffed shells with sausage in creamy Alfredo, starting at $9.95. Both with endless salad and breadsticks. 2 great dishes that will leave you smiling.
The whole world's smiling. Such a great idea.
Olive Garden, when you're here, you're family.
Cheap, fun.
Hi, I'm Fred from Dirt Cheap Beer and Liquor. The more she drinks, the better you look. And remember, size really does matter. Carry a big wallet with the money you save with our low-price, low-tier products.
Cheap.
Please visit us. We are the last refuge of the persecuted smoker, and we really are grateful for your business.
Cheap, fun.
Have fun, but drink responsibly. Be careful out there.
What started as one man with a dream and a frozen custard machine has become a St. Louis legend and a local tradition. And for 75 years, Ted Drew's has been serving the very best frozen custard, made with cream, honey, eggs, and pure vanilla. And the little boy who learned at his father's knee is still here. So stop in, say hello, and wish our whole family a happy 75th anniversary.
Ah, the Ted Drew's Hawaiian with pineapple and macadamia nuts.
It really is good, guys and gals.
Cardinal Baseball on WB11, brought to you by Bud Light. Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here. By your local St. Louis Chrysler dealers. And by your quality local Ford dealers on both sides of the river. Well, the sun's been in and out. It is quite muggy downtown today. Beautiful look at the Gateway Arch, the Jefferson National Expansion Memorial, and Woody Williams, 38-year-old right-hander. Woody just had a birthday about 3 weeks ago. He's the first half of our Jeep pitching matchup, brought to you by your local Jeep dealers.
Well, Woody has the fewest number of wins among the Cardinal staff, but he does have 16 quality starts. The Dodger pitcher here this afternoon, Jeff Weaver, actually leads all of Major League Baseball with 22 quality starts, which of course is 7 innings with 3 or less runs. But Woody has been very good of late.
Dodgers are hitting .265, 8th in the league, and they're 8th in runs, 5th in home runs. Lineup brought to you by Ameren. Sleep easy, we never rest. And Cesar Izturis turning into a very fine leadoff guy. They've got Steve Finley next. Milton Bradley is back in the lineup today after dealing with a family death earlier this week, and Adrian Beltre having his career year. Then Sean Green, another old friend, is back in the lineup today. Robin Ventura, who we've seen around baseball for many years. And the Cardinals will counter with the defense that's second best in the league to these Dodgers. Cardinal lineup out there in the field, brought to you by Steak and Shake. Real steak burgers, real milk milkshakes, 24 hours a day.
Pretty nice when you can sit a guy like Albert Pujols and also Edgar Renteria and still have a powerful lineup. Walker sat out yesterday, and Cardinals didn't miss a beat, although they only managed 2 hits yesterday. They were out hit 10-2.
Amazing.
Still able to win their 5th straight game here in this homestand. And who'd have thought they'd have an opportunity to actually sweep a homestand against the Padres and Dodgers, 2 very good teams.
Yeah, 2 teams in the playoff hunt. First pitch, and we're right on time at 1:15 St. Louis time. 81 degrees at game time, but I bet the humidity is almost that high as well. Woody misses up and in quickly. 2-0 to Cesar Izturis, the 24-year-old shortstop. Woody used to pitch for Toronto. Izturis was in the Toronto organization, and their general manager, upon trading him to the Dodgers, said, "Oh, we can find a lot more shortstops out there like this guy." The manager at the time for the Blue Jays was Buck Martinez. And I think Buck, he won't come out and say it, but believes that's one of the most absurd things he's ever heard a GM say. Because Cesar Izturis is a very good defensive shortstop. He'll hit 280, 290 for you. He has speed. And the Dodgers know a little bit about good shortstops over the years, don't they? Bill Russell, Maury Wills, others come to mind.
Well, Izturis has a streak of 27 straight games without an error at shortstop, which is an awful lot of games for a shortstop. You get an awful lot of balls hit to you. You've got a lot of plays at the bag. You've got throws from the catcher. A lot of opportunities for errors, and he's gone 27 games without one.
And if you've got a little guy like that, you'd like him to hit the ball in the air. Jim Edmonds for the first out. Cardinals going for the sweep. They lead the all-time series with the Dodgers. Rich alluded to it. From a pure baseball standpoint, it might be the best. 931 to 921, Cardinals over the Dodgers.
Take a look at where the second base umpire Chris Guccione ends up as Jim Edmonds catches the ball. He is way out there in center field. We saw Steve Finley drop one out there, so not taking anything for granted. Chris Guccione hustling early. Maybe he's trying to wake up for this Sunday afternoon game.
Chris Guccione is a fiery young umpire. He's had kind of a short fuse in his rookie year, but he was all over that play. And a good breaking ball by Woody. He's got Finley 0-2.
I've got to say, it seems to me that umpires today do hustle more than they did 10-15 years ago. I think that's been a big benefit when Major League Baseball really changed the way umpires were managed and supervised, and I think they've really shown a great improvement.
That's Laz Diaz over at first. John Hirschbeck, who had the plate last night, is at third. Well, you talk about getting in a hitter's kitchen. Roland puts that away, and now Steve Finley is 0 for his last 8. Woody retired his Izturis, who's 1 for his last 13. So the Dodger bats are quiet. Cardinal bats aren't exactly booming in this series either. That's been dominated by very good pitching. Here's Milton Bradley, switch hitter. Dodgers picked him up from Cleveland the day before opening day. That really changed their ball club. Paul D. Podesta, their young GM, is a former assistant to Billy Beane in Oakland. So he wants guys with on-base percentage. Dodgers didn't have anybody like that last year. So they picked up Bradley to do that and play in the outfield. He was playing center field earlier, but now with Steve Finley aboard, he kind of moves around more. There's a breeze in the ballpark today, blowing right up the river from the south. And Woody with a high fastball, 3-1. Woody is 7-1 in his last 14 starts. And his opponent's batting average over that time is just .219.
One of the things you appreciate about the veteran Woody Williams pitching today, you don't have to worry about him going out there and trying to strike out 12 guys to try to best Matt Morris and Marquis' numbers against the Dodgers. Although he picks up one right there, he's veteran enough just to want to get outs.
2 quick outs and a strikeout of Bradley after going 3-1. And now the National League's best offense goes to work against Jeff Weaver.
Legendary fighters, one historic bout. When superstars Oscar De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins collide, it'll be history in the making. Don't miss De La Hoya Hopkins battle for the undisputed middleweight title. Look at this! De La Hoya Hopkins, the quest for history. Live on pay-per-view September 18th. Brought to you by Budweiser.
Oh, I thought I had more time. Okay, yeah, I can make it. Bye.
Pay 10 bills in under 3 minutes. Online. Free. With our free checking. From Bank of America. Higher standards.
Let's see who can make a milkshake faster. Them or us. Darn. We lose.
It's Strawvanilla.
Vanilla.
Strawvanilla.
Vanilla.
Strawvanilla.
Vanilla.
Steak and Shake. We have new side-by-side milkshakes.
Strawvanilla.
Only in a Jeep, second half of our Jeep pitching matchup. If it's not trail rated, it's not a Jeep 4x4. And Jeff Weaver having a very interesting season, Rick. He's only 12-10, but he's a guy who has been sticking around and pitching a lot of innings.
Well, those quality starts have kept him in games. He has picked up 12 victories. He's probably the ace of the staff right now. He's always had great stuff. He's got great moving fastball. And probably the most important thing about him is he goes to Craig Wilson's barber.
Cardinal lineup brought to you by Ameren. Sleep easy. We never rest. Albert not in the lineup today. Tony Womack, Marlon Anderson, Larry Walker are. Roland Edmonds Mabry in the middle. Luna at short. Mike Matheny and Woody. Tony Womack is 0 for 7 in this series and 0 for his last 9.
If you think those quality starts don't matter, the Cardinals are 73-2 when they lead after 7 innings, and the Dodgers are 58-3. So those first 7 innings of a game with the kind of bullpens both of these teams have are important, and Jeff Weaver has gotten his team to Gagne, and a lot of the Cardinal starters have gotten their team to Isringhausen.
One of the best games Jeff ever had at the major league level was against the Cardinals in June of 2000. It was an interleague series. We were visiting Comerica Park in Detroit, and he pitched 8 innings, gave the Cardinals only 4 hits. Couple of runs, he struck out 5 in a 4-2 Tiger win. Tony hits the ball pretty hard the other way, but his Torres there to pick it, and that was close. Great hustle by Womack. Dodgers are the best in baseball defensively. It's brought to you by Steak and Shake. Real steak burgers, real milk milkshakes 24 hours a day. They've made 58 errors in 135 games.
And the defense is particularly good up the middle with his Turris and Cora around the second base bag. And Finley, though he made an error yesterday, is an excellent center fielder despite his age. And you always are only as good as your defense up the middle, and the Dodgers have that.
I told Jim Tracy in his office this morning about my call last night when that ball fell, and I said, that never happens. And Jim said that was exactly my reaction. He said, I've watched Steve Finley his entire major league career as an opposing manager and as somebody who just admires the way he plays, and you're right, that never happens. This one is backhand over the screen off the bat of Marlon Anderson. Great baseball family, the Finleys. His dad coached him in Little League. Terry Shumpert was also coached by Steve's father.
Pretty good Little League team when you've got two future major leaguers.
How about that? Yeah, Terry Shumpert was a guy who kind of bounced around a little bit. He was mostly with Kansas City, but the Royals and other clubs, including the Rockies, knew that he was a valuable person to have around. Your basic utility guy who could do a lot of different things, good speed. I think the last I saw of Terry Shumpert was last year when he was on the Tampa Bay Devil Rays club. He's at AAA with the Pirates right now. Marlon Anderson is 0 for his last 8. Counts 2-2. He'll step out. Home plate umpire Wally Bell today. Wally Bell in his 12th year as a major league umpire. And a 2-2. Breaking ball. Good identification there by Marlon. And if you're batting second in this lineup, a walk is as good as a hit because of the boppers who follow.
Marlon still not swinging the bat very well. That pitch right there came off of it just a little bit. He's had a really rough 2 to 3 weeks now. I think Tony's trying to get him as many starts as he can to try to get that feel back. As we take a look at this wonderful Sunday crowd here at Busch Stadium.
Yeah, maybe upwards of 40,000, 41 maybe. We had almost 46 in the house last night. Good swing by Anderson, but it's tailing right back to Milton Bradley. But that's the kind of swing that can get you out of a little funk.
That's a nice swing right there. Marlon is actually lined out 3 times this week, twice to center field and once to left field, and you just got to just trust the fact that they're going to start dropping sooner or later, but I know he's frustrated.
Larry Walker sat out last night, 0 for 3 Friday. Batting ahead of Scott Rowland. Larry hitting .284 as a Cardinal. And that's in 23 games. Power numbers are good. 18 RBIs over that time. With 6 home runs. Several of the tape measure variety. Big time hack, and it's out of play to the left side.
You know, I've watched Larry Walker hit for a long time, and I've never quite noticed how much he actually wraps the bat around his head in a way that you're taught not to. Obviously, he's been a great hitter, but he actually wraps the bat a little bit around the back of his head and faces the head of the bat at the pitcher, which usually results in a long swing. And when you coach young hitters, you coach them not to wrap the bat. As we get a good look from the side, you'll see the bat actually facing the pitcher.
Is that an Albert Pujols bat?
Using it again.
Big breaking ball. You know what? It doesn't matter what bat you have if you see a breaking ball like that. You know, that tells me, though, that position of Larry Walker's hands, even at the age of 37, he considers himself quick enough to get to the ball, and he's not had to make that adjustment just yet.
Exactly.
He got jammed and pops it up out behind short. Cesar Ezturis right there, and the Cardinals are gone in order. Pitching has dominated this series, and why not today? It's the Cards and the Dodgers at Busch Stadium.
Who would you trust to bring leading-edge technology close to home? Southeast Missouri Hospital is the first hospital in Missouri to offer the revolutionary Novala-shaped beam surgery cancer treatment system. At Southeast Novala Center, cancer patients have access to the best and most precise technology, and a radiation oncology team with more than 140 years of combined experience means you have world-class cancer care close to home. The Regional Cancer Center at Southeast Missouri Hospital. Commitment to excellence, trusted care.
There's a place where friends would rather chat over a fence than a computer screen.
where the market means groceries, not stocks. There's a place where city and country meet, where you can find virtually everything you'll ever need for your home, your farm, your family, your life. This is Buckeye territory. Buckeye is your country superstore. Here you'll find the largest selection of workwear in the area and everything for your hands-on projects. Buckeye has kept folks supplied and satisfied for 70 years. Buckeye, with locations in Missouri and Illinois.
Using advanced state-of-the-art techniques and personalized care, Stokes Institute of Urology provides exceptional urological care for both adults and children.
Of urology, we care for you.
Hey, bring your group to catch the high-flying Redbirds. Group half-price night Wednesday, September 15, Cards Astros. And for groups of 25 or more, terrace reserved seats are only $9. Upper terrace are just $4.50. It's a great plan for office outings, school groups, and more. And call the Cardinals, 425-0600 for more information. One of the best players in baseball this year is Adrian Beltre of the Dodgers. Jim Tracy thinks he plays third base as well as Scott Rowland does. He's made one error more than Rowland, who probably will win another Gold Glove, which would be his 6th. Only one guy can win it at every position on the field, but Adrian Beltre is certainly an outstanding third baseman. And one thing we forget about him, Rick, he is still only 25 years of age. He signed illegally, I might add, at the age of 15. The Dodgers got in trouble over that, but they never lost him. They signed him on July 7th of '94. He wasn't turning 16 until the following April. But they obviously saw something a long time ago in this young man.
Well, their patience with him, if not maybe their impropriety, has really paid off here as he's become one of the best young players in the game. You mentioned his home runs. He and Adam Dunn and Albert Pujols are the 3 home run guys of the future.
This ball hit high in the air to deep right field. Larry Walker to have a look, and this thing is on the top of the wall and gone. Adrian Beltre takes the major league lead with his 44th home run. We talked about his opposite field single last night, and Rick, when you see a guy do this, he's really locked in.
Well, it almost didn't seem like he got much of this pitch on the outside part of the plate. Woody was working him away, and he finally gets the ball out over the plate, and it just barely clears the right field wall. I think Larry Walker thought he was going to be able to catch that ball for most of his trip back to the wall, and it just kept carrying, which shows you the power of Adrian Beltre.
RBI number 101 for Beltre, who had one here last night. This ball up the middle from Sean Green. Pitchers call that chuck and duck. And another look back at number 44 for Beltre.
Woody Williams pitches up better than anybody in the National League, particularly right-handers, but this one was up over the middle of the plate, and Beltre stayed on it, showed his power to right field, and gets to add another number to his home run total on the scoreboard, and Albert just has to sit on the bench and watch it.
Well, our guys who work up there, they get things updated quickly, don't they? The old-fashioned way, with a manual Budweiser home run scoreboard up there. Now it's Robin Ventura, the batter. And against a right-handed pitcher, this can be a very difficult sequence through the Dodger lineup. Milton Bradley, a switch hitter. Then after Beltre, Sean Green and Robin Ventura.
We talked about Woody pitching up. That's something to watch for this afternoon, as you just look the way he attacks hitters. He does have a good sinking fastball. He tries to hit corners left and right, but he tries to get a lot of outs up, particularly against guys he's not fearful of hitting home runs. And it's a tough thing to do. Your ball better have some hop on it, and if it doesn't have some hop and movement on it, you're going to get guys getting pretty good swings. But Woody has a knack for having that ball move just out of the strike zone, up in the zone, and getting pop-ups and strikeouts from it.
All right, I'm going to ask you about something you just said. What do you mean by hop?
You know, I know it when I see it, and and what I mean is when you throw a straight fastball that doesn't have any movement on it, it is very easy for the eye to be trained to hit. Hitting is all about timing. But some pitchers have the ability for the ball to look like it actually rises. Now it doesn't, but it looks like it, and it actually moves at the last minute. The movement that takes place over the last foot in front of the home plate is the difference between winning and losing. Jim DeShays is a guy that threw 85 miles an hour up in the strike zone, but people couldn't hit it because it had that little late movement for some reason that he mastered.
Woody changing speeds and hitting the corner. That'll even the count 2-2. So a Beltre homer to lead off this bottom of the second. A Sean Green really hit hard, line drive up the middle for a hit. And nobody out. Robin Ventura. He's a double play guy if you can get a ground ball. Woody thinking about that, missing down and in. Now the count's full.
You'll get arguments among baseball people about what actually causes that ball to hop. Is it the number of extra revolutions because maybe their wrist is looser and they can make the ball spin more, or is it finger pressure? Probably a combination of both.
Runner going on 3-2, and Ventura pops it up. It's going to head into the first couple of rows of seats down there. Larry Walker getting used to a corner where he has played before as a visiting player, but some interesting contours, Rick, since they changed the stadium in '96.
He's being very smart in checking out that corner. You don't want to run into that full speed. If you can get by that corner right there, that you can make that play. And you also have to watch out for the second baseman, because you may collide at that very spot where the stands jut out.
Runner goes again. Roland backs up for this pop-up, and back to first base goes Robin Ventura. In the old configuration of Busch Stadium, the stands didn't jut out like that. That straight line of the first row went all the way down into the corner. So where the Southwest Airlines sign is, that little turn back area did not exist when this ballpark was originally designed to be both a football and a baseball stadium.
A lot of stadiums throughout Major League Baseball have limited foul territory, as Busch Stadium does have more limited foul territory, and that's certainly one of the things that has aided hitters over the last 10 years. Not as many foul pop-ups.
Alex Cora takes one upstairs from Woody Williams. Alex, the number 7 Dodger hitter. It's a warm day to work out there. No trouble getting loose on a day like this, huh?
You just got to show up. Show up, bend over, touch your toes, you're ready. Let's go after them.
But on a very warm and muggy day, Rick, what kind of things do you have to do to make sure you do pace yourself and don't get gassed out there too early? Because pitchers always start the game with that little adrenaline rush.
Well, there's hydrating, which is true. People talk about that's the word in vogue, but you really do have to make sure you're drinking enough during the day, because you're going to lose a lot of fluid. If you're not careful, you lose 7 or 8 pounds in the midst of an afternoon start in a day like this. So you want to drink enough in between innings, making sure you go to a nice cool place and just chill.
You know, in the spirit of 2004, I also must ask you, do you lose carbs on a day like this?
Yeah. Well, it depends if you carb loaded the night before. I don't know. They probably even talk about that. I don't know that they have a team nutritionist.
Yeah.
But you never know. That's next. That's next.
The White Sox have a pitcher named Adkins, and somebody told me when he came in the game the other day, he's keeping his carbs down. I said, yeah, but what about his fastball? There's a fastball up, lined, and Luna's got it. And good base running by Sean Green to stay home at first base.
Let's take a look at the pitch that Woody Williams got Robin Ventura to pop out on. And this is a curve. This is how you throw a curveball right here. Look at the arm action. He's got his fingers on top of the ball, and he pulls down. His hand comes in towards his body, and the ball starts high and goes straight down. Ventura pops it up for the first out of this inning. That's a picture-perfect curveball from Woody Williams. He's got a good one.
Here's the catcher, David Ross. David Ross, 27 years of age, a former 7th-round draft choice for the Dodgers 6 years ago. And getting playing time now, along with Brent Maine, after the departure of Paul Lo Duca to the Marlins in that huge deal they worked at the trading deadline. I saw Brad Penny downtown last night. He's got his family up here visiting from Oklahoma, but Brad Penny is getting ready to start doing a little throwing. They don't know exactly when he'll be back, but he's a big, strong guy, and we hope he has a speedy recovery for the Dodgers. He was a cornerstone of that deal and a very fine front line major league pitcher.
That's the reason they make that deal right there. They're thinking we've got a chance in the playoffs to do some damage here with this Dodger ball club. We need a #1 guy. We've got Weaver's not too bad. Some other guys that are pitching well, but to have a guy like Brad Penny get hot, he could carry you through a playoff scenario.
And this ball popped up to the right side. Womack is out. And the one-hander puts away the Dodgers in the top of the second. The major league's leading home run guy has done it again. Adrian Beltre, number 44. Dodgers take the lead.
Showed you some cowboy sitting around a campfire eating the new Western Bacon Thick Burger. But then, who'd want to watch that? The Western Bacon Thick Burger with Angus beef, new at Hardee's.
Check it out, the President Casino. It's better than ever.
Come see why the President Casino on Amarillo is better than ever.
More tables and games, the full house of fun. Excitement for everyone with the losers slots and the Surrey too. Come on in and we can party with you. Come on, check it out.
Come in today and start earning your very own set of 10th anniversary Admiral Collector glasses.
Pets Plus is your water garden headquarters with the expertise and the best product selection in the area. We are the serious water gardener's paradise. From fish of every size to pumps, filters, liners, and everything you can imagine. We have a bigger selection and higher quality of aquatic plants than anyone around. At Pets Plus, our experts will help you design and build a water garden of any size, from a tub container to as big as you can imagine. Create the backyard of your dreams. Pets Plus, over 21 years, the very best in aquariums and aquatic gardening.
Hey kids, are you a Cardinals fan? Well, don't forget to register at any area Great Clip Salon to be an honorary bat boy or bat girl at a Cardinals game. The contest is open to all kids age 8 through 13. Get a great haircut and register for a great experience as a Cardinals honorary bat boy or bat girl, only at Great Clips.
What's on tap? Brought to you by Bud Light. Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here. Chris Carpenter goes for the Cardinals in San Diego tomorrow night. FSN Midwest. Get you going at 8:30 St. Louis time. By the way, Rick and I will be heading out there as well with the ball club, and we will have a rare matinee for you on Wednesday. Cardinals and the Padres here on WB11. And for you folks around the Cardinal Network, check your local listings, but we have picked up the Wednesday game. That's one of the Sundays we lost to the network. And we'll be there, and then we'll give you Cardinals at Dodgers next Saturday, Sunday. Our Wednesday game, by the way, hits the air at 2:30 St. Louis time from Petco Park in San Diego. Scott Rowland hits the ball very hard to center, and right there is Steve Finley. He wouldn't drop two in a row.
No way. I think he used two hands very appropriately there. He doesn't want to drop another one. I also saw Jim Edmonds had a little trouble with a fly ball late in the game last night also, and you just wonder whether there's some swirling wind going on in center field. I'm still amazed that Beltre's ball got out to right field over the head of Larry Walker.
Yeah, it looked like a deep but playable fly ball off the bat. One of the great mysteries in Jim Edmonds' career has to be, why doesn't he hit better against the Los Angeles Dodgers?
Very low career batting average, 216, I believe it is.
He hit number 300 last night, got over 900 RBIs. That ball is slicing toward the seats and hits right on the track in front. But very puzzling how he can be a 216 hitter against Dodger pitching. Now, over the years, the Dodgers have had good pitching, but other good pitching staffs don't seem to bother this guy.
Power numbers aren't too bad against the Dodgers. I believe he has hit 10 home runs against them, but it is amazing how some teams you just don't feel good against. And you know, it also depends on when that team happens to catch you. If you catch Jim Edmonds early on in this season, you will have pitched well against him, no matter who you are. There's those numbers, and there's the 10 home runs, 216, 47 strikeouts.
Wow.
Big number.
Not a lot of contact. There's some contact into the right field corner. He might be thinking 2. He knows it's 2 now as the ball gets beyond Sean Green. And for Jim Edmonds, his 35th double of the year.
He hammers this ball. Jim Edmonds to right field. Weight back as always. And it looks like his feet actually come off the ground, kind of like he's playing in a softball game here, and he's just trying to hit the ball as far as he can. Both feet come off the ground. Line drive to right field.
Is that what you call jumping all over a pitch?
He literally jumped all over that pitch.
Cardinals have their first hit. Here's John Mabry. It would be just like John in spot duty to get a base hit here and tie this game. He goes up hacking. There it goes. See you later. 2-1 Cardinals.
Job of filling in for Albert Pujols as John Mabry wastes no time, sees the first pitch he likes, hits the ball off the back of the bullpen in right center field, and making the most of his opportunities all year long is John Mabry. That's his 9th home run of the season. What a great luxury it is to have a guy like him coming off the bench so you can rest your Albert Pujols, keep him strong. Just amazing what this team has been able to do.
And silly me, I thought he was just going to get a base hit and tie the game. But John loves to go up hacking early, doesn't he?
You had confidence in him. You just didn't know how good he was going to be.
His manager has a lot of it too. Luna, chopper left side. There's Beltran. Very good play out at first.
Tell you, that's not a great at bat from Hector Luna. He's starting to look really suspect on the curveball as Weaver gets him out with a pitch away. We take another look at John Mabry, who's all smiles in the Cardinal dugout, and so far the hero of the afternoon. But Hector Luna, be nice to get him on track along with Marlon Anderson. Those are two guys that are really struggling at the plate.
Bases empty, 2 outs now. Mike Matheny 1 for 5 in the series. Mike was in the lineup Friday night, last night, and today. Cardinals will have 3 at San Diego, a day game Wednesday after 2 night games, and a day off Thursday. And Mike Matheny does to left field what Edmonds did to right. And for a moment, I thought Milton Bradley might have a shot at second base, but you've got to pick up the ball. You know, you cannot assume that the runner's automatically going to be safe at second base.
Oh, particularly when it's Mike Matheny, who, no secret, doesn't run real well, but he hits real well. And this at bat as Jeff Weaver leaves one on the inside part of the plate that's hittable by Mike Matheny, gets the ball into the corner, and Milton Bradley, well, pick it up. Well, I can find it. Well, let me see. No hurry. Finally manages to get the ball into second base. If he comes up with this ball cleanly, it bounces straight to him, tries to barehand it. That's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 is just being lackadaisical about the whole thing. He's a major league left fielder.
Woody's a major league hitter. 11 hits this year, a .218 career batting average. This year, Woody Williams and Jason Marquis have 28 hits and 10 RBIs. Of course, Marquis has 9 of those RBIs, but the hit total is impressive. Woody gets jammed and hits it up the middle of Joe Alexcora, and the Cardinals are gone. John Mabry gets a start today. First pitch he sees, gone. His 9th of the year, and the Cardinals trade homers with the Dodgers and lead 2-1.
Leon, you made the team. What do you think you can bring the squad right away?
Well, Chuck, that's a great question that deserves a great answer. Let's say the L factor.
The L factor?
Yeah, that would be my unique combination of charisma, handsomeness, and overall watchability.
And that will help this team win?
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at the guys on this team, man. None of them are easy on the eyes. But I and this will help.
Too bad you can't bottle and sell the L factor.
Yeah, it sure is. You could use a couple of bottles.
Listen, you can't even hear it. What? The XLI. You have a Train XLI cooling system? Of course it's quiet. It's those galvanized steel louvers. Oh, how rugged. Tell me about it. Climate tough compressor, patented spine fin coil. It might outlast Evelyn's third marriage. What? Oh, next we buy you a baby carriage.
Must be some air conditioner. The Train XLI. It's hard to stop a train.
Install a new Train high-efficiency comfort system and enjoy the benefits year-round. Contact Townsend Heating and Cooling today. It's hard to stop a train.
I'm a shopper. I can smell a bargain from 3, maybe 4 aisles away. So how did I miss it? The best values were so close. At a bank.
Shopping for a home equity loan? Most banks have fees. Annual fees, early payoff fees, non-usage fees. Don't pay them. At Commerce, there are no gotchas, no bank fees, just great low rates. That's Ask, Listen, Solve.
And to think, it was right under my nose.
Commerce Bank, Equal Housing Lender.
The McDonald's 5-piece Chicken Selects Premium Breast Strips have 32 grams of fat. The foot-long sweet onion chicken teriyaki sub at Subway has only 10. If you want to eat better and not give up taste, make the smarter choice. Choose Subway. Subway. Choose well.
Bingo.
Well, the shade. The shade is where you'd like to be today. Some cool customers out there. Cardinals on top, 2-1. We're going top of the third here. And Woody Williams will take on the leadoff man, his opposing pitcher, Jeff Weaver. Jeff Weaver can hit. He has 13 hits this year.
That home run by Mabry, his 9th of the season. The Cardinals already have 6 players with 10 or more. That would give him 7.
Look at this. Into the gap in right center. Weaver digging for 2. He might be thinking 3. Why not? Cardinals missed the cutoff man. Stand-up triple for Jeff Weaver. That is his first career triple.
Really didn't seem like there was too much excitement in right center field. I don't think Jimmy had any idea that he might go for 3. Short to the cutoff man Womack. Weaver's thinking 3 all the way. Hits the base very well. He runs very well. Long legs, picking him up and putting him down.
Former Dodger manager Glenn Hoffman is the coach over at third base. He was an interim manager. And they have another ex-manager on this staff, and that's our good friend Jim Riggleman, who is Jim Tracy's bench coach.
And sooner or later will be a big league manager again. He has great respect throughout Major League Baseball when the right opportunity comes up. And there may be a few that come up at the end of the season. I'm sure Jim will get a lot of consideration.
Cardinals got Cesar Izturis to hit the ball in the air first time up. There's Jim Riggleman, our old friend. Cardinal coach, later manager of the Cubs. Solid baseball guy. And Jim Tracy, who might be the most polite man who's ever sat in a major league manager's office. Jim Tracy, a 7-year manager in the minor leagues. By the way, he gave up his number. You think this guy's not polite? He gave up his number for Steve Finley.
Wow.
High fastball. All right, Rich, we've got some important things going on today. What's happening?
I'll say we are raising money for MDA, correct, Diana?
MDA and the Redbird rookies.
Good, and also Cardinals Care.
Cardinals Care, exactly.
All right, and how are you going about this?
We're selling them $1 scratch-off tickets to anyone that wants to buy them, and at the end of the 6th inning, you'll actually get a chance to win and receive a Cardinals jersey right off the player's back, autographed by the players.
That's pretty cool. You got your son with you today, right?
I do too, yes. He's He's back here. He's selling away.
I think Bob Carpenter and Rick Horton each spent about $100. Here's the play. Nice pitch. Well done to get the out. Shirt off your back, Dave. That's terrific.
Exactly. Come out and buy your tickets. We're having a great time at the ballpark today. It's hot, but it's worth it.
Now, Diana, guys, looked at me and she says, "Is the game on TV today?" And I said, well, what do you think I've got this microphone for, guys?
Hey, Rich, look up to the booth. We're tossing some of our cards out of the booth, so some lucky Cardinal fans maybe can scratch and win down below us.
Below you. I'm right under you. See if you can throw them all the way down here. I see Timmy. Stand up, boys.
Do we have any left, Tim?
I thought you were tossing out your autograph, Bob. I didn't realize.
There's Rick Horton standing now.
No, we want to do something that's worth something.
Here's Carp. He's throwing. Oh, the wind blowing from the left field foul pole to the right field foul pole.
Yeah, it went way over that way.
Could be a winner.
I hope so. We want somebody to win. How about that? Runner at third, nobody out, strikeout, ground out, crazy play, strikeout. And that's Woody Williams against Milton Bradley. Look at this play. Mabry bare hand, and that was for the second out. The Cardinals can do no wrong.
At the Dodge Labor Day clearance, things are moving fast. During Labor Day weekend, get huge deals on the best selection of the remaining 2004 Dodges. Grab the tough Dodge Ram 1500 Quad Cab with 0% financing plus $1,000 cash allowance and $1,500 in bonus cash. Or grab huge cash allowances on the rugged Dakota or the roomy Durango, plus our 770 powertrain limited warranty. So hurry in for the best selection of 04s during the Dodge Labor Day clearance.
Hi, I'm Dave Reiminger with Overhead Door Company of Southeast Missouri. Many people ask me how we manage to have such a dedicated group of employees, and it's really simple. Most people want an environment where old-fashioned values are still respected. Integrity and a commitment to quality, a company that values its employees and its customers. For new construction or for service, call the Overhead Door Company of Southeast Missouri. Look for the red ribbon.
Hi folks, Steve James from Elite Auto Sales. We have the largest pre-owned inventory in the whole area. Trucks, SUVs, small cars, luxury cars, you name it, we have it. The biggest selection of SUVs you've ever seen. Big Tahoes, small Jimmys, CRV, you name it, we have it, folks. And guess what? The quality, the price, you can't beat us anywhere. Warranty with every vehicle. Stop by and see us today. We have 3 locations, Carterville, Marion, or Herring. Go Cardinals!
Williams pitches out of a jam in the Dodger third. He gets Steve Finley to hit this curveball to second base. With the infield drawn in, you see Woody Williams actually fake like he's going to catch the ball to hold the runner. Big pitches by Woody Williams to strand this runner. And how about this flip? Mabry comes off the base, actually has to barehand it, backhand it, almost like he's taking a baton from the runner before him. If the U.S. track and field team was that good at batons, they'd have won a couple of gold medals.
Yeah, you're right. That was some play. You know, but Woody Williams, I mean, that's amazing that a pitcher would have the presence of mind to deke a runner. Top of the order for the Cardinals, bottom of the third, Tony Womack leads off. Breaking ball dropped in there by Jeff Weaver. You're watching Cardinal baseball on KPLR TV, St. Louis, WB11, flagship station of our Cardinal television network. Bob Carpenter, Rick Horton, Rich Gould, our Bud Sports production crew from beautiful Busch Stadium. Crowd of 40,000 or so. Tony Womack, this one's down the line. Is it gone? Off the top of the wall. Womack into second, and he almost left the yard. There must be a bit of a jet stream going on down there in right field today.
Well, this is Tony Womack's power alley right down the right field line. He cannot hit the ball out to left field to center field, but he's got a chance if he drops the head on one down and in. And that ball hits 3/4 of the way up the wall. I think Tony thought he might have opportunity for home run number 6, but he does lead off the Cardinal third with a double.
That breaks an 0 for 10 for Tony Womack. who came into this game with a .347 on base average, not considered real good for a leadoff guy. But there are other ways this lineup can pick you up. Now, when Tony does get aboard, it makes the Cardinals a lot more dangerous. And Marlon Anderson's job here is to get him over to third at least.
Yeah, Tony La Russa's been using the sacrifice bunt an awful lot in this situation with nobody out. But with left-hander Marlon Anderson, let's see if he gives him the opportunity to pull the ball. He's bunted with Mike Matheny. He's bunted with Edgar Renteria, just to get that extra run, particularly with the big boppers coming up and Walker, Rowland, and Edmonds. You want to get that run to the third base with less than 2 outs.
Rick, do you do that more against pitching staffs that are the best in the league?
Absolutely. Absolutely. When you think that run is precious, you don't want to miss that opportunity. And what Weaver's trying to do, even first of all, if he thinks Anderson's bunting, he's going to throw fastballs high in the zone, which is a tough pitch to bunt. But he's also going to keep the ball away from him and keep Marlon Anderson from pulling the ball. Marlon Anderson's able to hit a ball behind the runner to the second base or first baseman. Womack's going to be able to go to third. If he hits the ball in front of the runner, he'll have to hold.
Here's the other thing. You know, some people may have heard that question I asked you and said, well, duh, yeah, against good pitching staffs. But my point is, against a pitching staff that's not good, why bunt on the first or second pitch? They might walk you.
Exactly.
The Dodgers just don't do that sort of thing as a rule, although the Cardinals were the recipients of 6 LA walks last night.
There's that 2-1 pitch on the outside part of the plate. The only thing that Marlon could have done with that pitch to hit it hard would be to hit it to the left side of the infield, which is what Weaver's trying to get him to do. And if you do come in, you have the chance of being able to jam him and get him to pop it up. But you have to be careful because Marlon Anderson is looking in right now. There's no doubt about it. He's looking for something he can drive to the right side of the infield.
He pops it up over there. Pretty good job of pitching by Jeff Weaver. Little game within the game right there, Rick. What can the pitcher do to keep that hitter from advancing the runner?
There are so many games within the game that take place every single at bat, and there's about 10 pieces of information in Weaver's mind and in Marlon Anderson's mind that have to do with what they've done against each other in the past, or you know, how do I feel right now? Am I seeing the ball well on the inside part? And it's such a complicated game in some ways. In some ways it's a simple game.
Here's Larry Walker. Popped up to short first time. A 3-time batting champion, MVP 7 years ago, and an amazing hitter to have in the second, third, or sixth hole in your lineup. The count's in his favor. This matchup just got a whole lot tougher for Jeff Weaver, although first base is open with right-handed hitting Scott Rowland next. And a backdoor breaking ball misses, and it looks like Weaver won't mind walking Mr. Walker here. He'd like to get him early in the count, but he hasn't been able to do that. Now you're in a fastball count, and look out if you decide to pitch to him. He does, but he barely nips the corner with that one. There's no way he's going to throw the ball over the middle of the plate.
Not by design, at least. You don't always know where it's going.
Accidents happen, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
3-1 to Walker, who hit 6 homers as a Cardinal. Jeff Weaver's given up 14 home runs this year in 184 innings. That's not a lot at all. So what John Mabry did to him hasn't happened that often this year. And it's rolling with 2 on, 1 out. You could see that walk coming.
That was a perfect pitcher's pitch right there for Weaver when you're trying to pitch around somebody. A little change of speed just off the plate, trying to entice Walker to swing at it. That's the thing that is so impressive about this Cardinal lineup, how well they know the strikeout zone, how patient they are, You want to give Mitchell Page some credit for that, and he deserves some of it, but also the hitters themselves, Edmonds and Pujols and Rowland and Walker, they know the strike zone so well. And Mitch Page, I know, preaches that day in and day out.
Rowland hit the ball very hard first time up and lined out to the center fielder, Steve Finley. So he's had 2 cuts today, and he's hit the ball sharply both times.
Well, Scott Rowland has an outside shot at hitting 40 home runs, and he hits them in bunches. And if he does, that would have 3 guys on the same team with 40 or more home runs. That's only been done 3 other times.
Yeah, everybody remembers the Atlanta Braves with Davey Johnson, Darrell Evans, and Hank Aaron. But who are the others?
The Rockies did it twice, back-to-back years. In fact, Larry Walker was.
Does that count up there?
It does. It's in the record book.
Okay.
Larry Walker was a part of the second time that happened in Colorado in 1997.
I do remember something happened at Coors Field involving Larry Walker and the Cardinals. The first year, I guess it was maybe the first or second year Coors Field was open, nobody had ever hit an upper deck home run in right field. Well, Larry Walker did it against the Cardinals on a Saturday night, and the next day, with Walker's shoulders slumping, Ray Lankford did it for the Redbirds. So Larry was the only man to do it for a grand total of about 13 hours. Rowland hits it hard, but well foul. And of course, when the Cardinals first played the Rockies, Coors Field did not exist. They played at Mile High Stadium, and they had over 200,000 people for a 4-game series. 280,000, pardon me, an average of over 70,000 a game.
Wow.
1-2 to Rowland down low. But there was a major league stadium in this league that seated a lot more people than that, because when the Dodgers moved west in '58, they played at the LA Coliseum before Dodger Stadium was built, and they drew some crowds over 90,000.
Wow. Was that the capacity of that?
Just about.
Just about.
Oh, Rowland's gone on a fastball outside corner at the knees. What location by Jeff Weaver.
We've talked about Scott Rowland's ability to hit with runners on, and normally he's not going to take this pitch. That was a great pitch from Weaver. Tailed back over the outside part. Notice his 2 seams that he's got fingers on both seams. He's got the sinker grip, and he throws that sinker right to the outside part, tails back just in the last second. What a great pitch from Weaver. And sometimes you just got to tip your hat to the pitcher for making such a tough pitch.
Yep, Scott Rowland walked away in silence. Here's Jim Edmonds. A double. First time up in front of the John Mabry 2-run homer. Cardinals lead 2-1, bottom of the 3rd. At that football stadium where the Dodgers played, it was 250 feet down the line in left field. So they erected a 40-foot screen, and it had to get over the screen for a home run, of course.
Like
but
Fenway.
There were some little bitty pop flies that went for home runs at the LA Coliseum when the Dodgers first moved west. It was truly a bizarre ballpark. And then, of course, it was about 390 down the line and right.
Now, you've never taken a tape measure to Fenway Park, have you? I know a number of people
but I've
have
heard
done
it's
that.
less than the 315 they say.
I believe I've heard many people have done that, actually taken out a tape measure, and I think it's in the 290s is what they really think it is. Of course, that wall is so high there, and what a hot team that Red Sox team is.
37 feet high. Red Sox 2.5 back of the Yankees. They're tied at Baltimore right now. Edmonds tomahawks one. Right field. Over the wall. Ground rule double. That'll probably cost the Cardinals a run, as Walker might have scored, but the Redbirds do take a 3-1 lead, and it's RBI 104 for Edmonds. Every Cardinal hit has been for extra bases today.
Well, Walker would have scored on that. He got a great jump on that hit by Jim Edmonds into the right field corner, and let's take another look. Ball up, out, over the plate. Jimmy Edmonds again gets on top of the ball, and it just barely sneaks up over the wall, which is a ground rule double. Everybody gets 2 bases. It's a sinker that doesn't sink. It was moving away, but it wasn't moving down. And Jim Edmonds, again, tomahawks the ball in the right field. Looked a lot like his hit just last inning.
Hey, join Don Bell and Scott Terry after today's ball game. It'll be a good look at the Pizza Hut post-game show right after we finish it up here on WB11. Our buddy Andy Van Slyke again over in the Camo X booth today doing radio duty. We'd like to wish a happy 45th anniversary to Gail and Tony Manning from Petersburg, Illinois. That's from their granddaughter, Greta Perez, who's only 9 years of age. Nice going, Greta. They're all at the ball game today enjoying what the Redbirds are doing. And a breaking ball for a strike to John Mabry. He wasn't about to see another first pitch fastball.
No, he's a great fastball hitter, and there are 2 more runs out there that you don't want to lose. Take advantage of every opportunity you can. Pitcher's on the ropes. It's like you've thrown a haymaker and he's wobbling and you got 15 more seconds in the round. You know, you don't walk to the neutral corner and let him come to. You just got to go pummeling.
You're going to zero in for the kill, huh?
Until the bell rings. Keep punching.
That's pretty much the philosophy of this ball club. They will not get comfortable and complacent with this big lead. Upstairs, 2-1 to Mabry. Steve Finley, where are you? Yeah, he's out there somewhere in front of that 402 mark. Mabry a half swing. The family of Julia Burkhart says hello. Julia is at the hospital, couldn't make it to the ball game today, and she's tuned in. Her family hopes that she gets well very, very soon. And we do too. Jim Tracy. Tony La Russa. One looking for more runs, one desperately wants to be out of this inning. Mabry strikes out on a fastball away. Cardinals get a run on 2 extra base hits and a walk, and the bats are booming today. 5 extra base hits, and the Cards lead 3-1.
2 lattes.
Watch this. Here you go.
Thank you.
You ready? Yeah.
Your check card.
Check now. There yet? No, nothing. No?
See your check card transactions instantly with secure online banking.
Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah. Instant, huh? Here, drink. Hey, you know what? Can you make it do that again and get me a brownie? Yeah.
Bank of America.
Thanks.
Higher standards.
Now I'll illustrate the difference between car dealers and Dobbs. You go to a car dealer to buy a car. You go to Dobbs for new tires and to get your car serviced. Dealer to buy, Dobbs for tires and auto service. Should I go over that one more time?
Dobbs, you come here for tires and auto service. And now, celebrate Dobbs' 28th anniversary with us. Buy 4 tires of any kind and receive $28 off your purchase. $28 off 4 tires to celebrate Dobbs' 28th.
It has more standard safety features than any SUV in its class. It is the only small SUV to earn the highest possible ratings in all crash tests by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. It has been voted the 2004 Best Small SUV by Car and Driver. The new all-wheel drive Subaru Forester, a 210 horsepower security blanket you can test drive.
Visit your Subaru dealer for 2.9% APR for 63 months on every 2005 Subaru.
Join current and former Cardinal players and broadcasters on the Cardinal Cruise coming up next winter. Sailing from Fort Lauderdale on January 23rd, returning the following Saturday, January 30th. Howl in America's new Western Dam and visit the popular Caribbean ports, that is, St. Martin, Tortola, Nassau, Howl in America's private island, Half Moon Bay. And you can call for info and reservations at Altair Travel 968-9600, or if you're not in the St. Louis area code, 1-800-844-5598. Go cruising with the Cardinals. Beltre with a high fly to left. He hit it off the end of the bat. Marlon Anderson is waiting for it. Now Rich Gould fancies himself as a country western singer. He does have one with him, I believe. Is that Vince Gill, Rich?
It is is Vince Gill. He's probably the only guy in the ballpark that can out-sing me. Vince, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great.
It is wonderful to see you. You're playing tonight where, at Harris?
We're playing down at Harris. My first time to play there, and Tony and Barry Weinberg are old buddies of mine and invited me out to the ball game today.
I tell you what, those guys know everybody.
They do. They're good guys.
And you go out to Oakland, I'll bet you sometime, to go for Tony La Russa's big bash.
I have been out a time or two, and I've known them for, gosh, 15, 16 years.
Vince was on with Wayne Hagan a moment ago, and Wayne asked a great question, so I want to duplicate that. He talked a little bit about your introduction of Alan Jackson's song on 9/11. It's one of the great songs going. You got the privilege to introduce that, didn't you? How did that happen?
Well, I knew it was just going to destroy the audience. I mean, obviously, I knew the people in the audience that night would love it, but then what it transpired into across the country and it was really great, and it was great healing for our nation.
Yeah, I mean, he captured that moment about as well as you can put pen to paper.
Oh, better than anybody did, you know, because it was, I think the songs that happened after that then weren't as, I don't know, they just didn't have the impact that one did.
Would you rather sing, write, or be an MC? You do them all so well.
I'd rather sing.
Well, I tell you what, he is a great singer. Vince Gill's in the ballpark today, guys.
What a nice guy. Thanks, Rich. Had a chance to see Vince downstairs earlier. What a true gentleman he is. He's the pride of Norman, Oklahoma, by the way. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hey, folks, when we end this inning, you're going to hear some Vince Gill music as we go out to commercial. So I'm going to shut up.
Wow, are we prepared?
Yeah, we're going to be quiet as soon as the third out's made, and maybe even before. If the ball's in the air, it's a can of corn, we'll just let it play out.
Woody's getting those outs in a hurry here this inning. Got Beltre on that fly ball to left field. Looked a little dangerous. Able to strike out Sean Green looking. Looks very strong today.
That ball is not routine. Deep right field. Up against the base of the wall. Larry Walker, look at this throw. Not bad. Fall down, get up, and throw a P to second base.
We talked about Milton Bradley not hustling for a ball in left field to keep a runner from going to second base. Well, this is how you do it. Even though Walker does fall and he'll need to replace his divot, he comes up throwing right on the money to second base. So it shows what a little hustle will do.
And here's what happened on that ball. At the bottom of the padding, it's a concrete wall. That thing hit under the padding on the concrete, and that's why it rifled back to Larry Walker so quickly. Right, just that few inches there makes a lot of difference on a ball hitting either above or below. Alex Cora takes a breaking ball in there. Hey, Rick, we've just been told that our crew would prefer we shut up for the entire next inning for Vince Gill music. What do you think?
We can do it.
I'd like to say happy birthday to Linda Heyer today. Actually, her birthday was 3 days ago. Happy birthday to Linda. That's from our good friend Gail Ruling, who keeps Dan Farrell organized in the Cardinals marketing office.
Quite a job.
0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Vince Gill.
Hi, Dennis Rossen here for Vulgar Ford. I've seen a lot of change in our business in 32 years. Our new facility in 88, new Napa stores, and now our new quick lane service with no appointment necessary, or just a few. The cars have changed too, with quality much improved. New F-Series, you see why they sell best. Our SUVs still setting sales records even with gas prices. And Mazda is something new every month. Mazda 6, RX-8, Mazda 3, and now new 5-door models, with Mazda Tribute our third best seller after F-150 and Grand Marquis. Change is everywhere, so if you haven't looked at Vulgar's lately, look again.
A set of 4 13-inch passenger tires as low as $100. 14-inch only $139.95. Where? Plaza Tire Service. Tires that fit perfectly. Save now at Plaza Tire Service on truck and SUV tires from major brand names. Dayton Timberline's on sale as low as $64.95. Plaza Tire Service, tires that fit your truck or SUV perfectly.
Price, selection, convenience, savings, service. Plaza Tire Service, tires that fit perfectly.
You gonna eat that?
Nice work this morning, Kim.
Yeah, that lady lost it when she saw all that clearance cash.
Couple aspirin, little lipstick, she was good to go.
During Ford's model year clearance, just look for the sticker with up to $52.45 in total savings on the 2004 F-150 Super Crew.
Hey, that's it. Let's go. Come on. Go 10, go 10.
September 13th, Everwood's new season begins. But Monday, see the deception they still must face.
I need to talk to Ephraim.
But Ephraim is not to know. Everwood.
Monday at 8 on WB49.
Cardinal Baseball, this portion brought to you by Hyundai. When your car comes with America's best warranty, you win. And by Hardee's, 100% Angus beef thick burgers, only at Hardee's. Bottom of the fourth inning, first pitch swinging, Hector Luna, and he threw his bat, and it went right by Mike Matheny, past the on-deck circle, and all the way to the barrier behind home plate. For some reason, Cesar Izturis is out of the game, and Jose Hernandez takes over at short.
A little frustration building for Hector Luna. Doesn't really say a whole lot. He's a very quiet guy. I think he's loved his experience of being up here in the big leagues all year with this team as a Rule 5 addition to this ball club. He needs to stay up all year, but I think frustration's mounting just a tad for Hector.
We mentioned our friend Gail Ruling a moment ago. Gail was hoping we could pass along best wishes to Gary Ruling, her brother. Recently heart bypass surgery, multiple bypasses at St. Luke's Hospital. And we hope Gary's feeling much better. Hope he's tuned in today, and a speedy recovery, buddy. We can't wait to see you back here at the ballpark.
We also have a new Cardinal fan. Congratulations to Cardinal Group Sales Account Executive Martin Coco and his wife Kathy on the birth of their son Peter Martin Coco III. Peter was born last night. Everybody's doing well. That's the second birth announcement we've had from the group sales department. You might say they've been very productive this year.
Oh boy.
Joe Strom doing a great job with those folks.
It's all about results. And a fastball is in there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You are too much, Horton. Mike Matheny doubled his first time up. Jeff Weaver looking a little grumpy with home plate umpire Wally Bell right now. I don't know what he's mad about. He gave him a nice call on the fastball to Scott Rowland last inning. That was called a strike. Some umpires may not have called it that. There was an appeal play down to first base that Las Diaz didn't give him. Better forget about that kind of stuff and just throw the ball.
When you're facing a lineup with 6 300 hitters in it, including 3 guys that have over 30 home runs, I guess you have other reasons to be grumpy. You want everything you can get. It is funny how you actually, your perception changes based on need. I mean, you need that pitch.
Wow.
He's not going to argue that one.
That's ball 4 and ball 5. Down to first base goes Matheny with 1 out. And we'll see if Woody Williams has sacrifice or swing away on his mind here.
I don't know if Weaver just overthrew this ball, but it looks like a 4-seam fastball. And whoops. Looked like the catcher, David Ross, probably could have gotten a glove on that, made that look a little bit better than it was. Yeah. But Weaver still missed his spot by a good 1.5 feet.
Woody showing bunt. Now back in a regular hitting position.
I've seen more pickoff moves against slower runners this year than I've ever seen. John Mabry often has pitchers throwing over there trying to keep him back. And
they
now
threw over a bunch last night with Albert Pujols on. And Matheny running on the play. Woody bloops it. Long run, and Bradley is there.
Maybe they knew something.
A lot of people moving around that time. Cardinals might have a chance to score 7-11 today. If it happens, stop by Casino Queen, the Riverview Grill, noon through dinner tomorrow for $1 handmade, personal 7-inch pizzas. Casino Queen, loosest slots just got looser. Official sponsor of the Cardinals.
The fact that they threw over on Matheny and there was in fact a hit and run on tells me that the Dodgers think they have the signs that are being relayed from Tony La Russa to Jose Oquendo. And I will say there's a guy in that dugout, Manny Mota, who's one of the best at stealing signs. He's the longtime Dodger coach, was the first base coach for years and years. He used to relay pitches to hitters by making little whistling sounds. He would let our hitters know, our hitters being the Dodgers, whether a fastball or a curveball was coming by the number of whistles that he would do from first base. Very annoying when you're pitching.
Now, how was he able to figure that out from first base?
He can see the signs, and you can see him from first base. If the catcher's not being careful, you can see him from the first base coach's box.
Tony Womack pulls an easy bouncer to Robin Ventura. Cardinals gone in the fourth. A one-out walk. Redbirds have stranded 4 to the 5th inning on a warm Sunday at Busch Stadium. The sun is blazing. So are the Cardinals.
Fly ball to deep right field. Rounding first, going for second, going back to the wall. He's going to test his arm. Here's the throw.
Okay, we'd like you to try 2 frozen lattes. One is from a national chain of coffee shops, and the other is new from Dairy Queen.
This one's fantastic.
Looks like you chose the new DQ Latte. Great. Okay, you can give it back now. Test is over. Let it go.
The new DQ Mulate Frozen Blended Coffee, made with creamy DQ soft serve in 3 tempting flavors. Grab one and DQ something different.
Likes it a lot.
The loosest slots on the river just got looser at the Casino Queen. That's right. Now your favorite place to play is even more fun because the loosest slots just got looser. All your favorite machines are paying more than ever before, so get in on the action at the Casino Queen Hotel and Casino.
I love winning big at the Casino Queen Hotel and Casino. Look at that, baby, another winner.
Hey kids, are you a Cardinals fan? Well, don't forget to register at any area Great Clip Salon to be an honorary bat boy or bat girl at a Cardinals game. The contest is open to all kids age 8 through 13. Get a great haircut and register for a great experience as a Cardinals honorary bat boy or bat girl, only at Great Clips.
Are you looking to take in a few more games before the season ends? The best seats in the house might be available. Prime Seat Club. It allows season ticket holders to resell their seats to the general public. Visit STLCardinals.com, click on the Prime Seat Club, and view the great seats that are available. Your online connection to the best seats in the house, the Prime Seat Club.
A couple more announcements to make here. Theron Morgan works here for the Cardinals, does a great job in the promotions department. His nephew Andre Morgan broke his arm yesterday during a high school football game. He plays at Mascoutah High School. He wanted us to wish him well.
We certainly do. Happy birthday to Douglas Holtzman, who's at the ballpark today. He is the son of one of our favorite WB11 gals, Paula Holtzman, and her son Bobby. I'm sorry, her husband Bobby. Douglas, her son, is 28 years of age today, and he works for the New Orleans Saints. David Ross is hit by that pitch, trying to bunt, and Woody threw it up and in.
I'm sure that ball actually hit Ross. He did try to get bunt, and it does carry him off. Looks like his chest. Just a glancing blow, but the umpire, Wally Bell, right on it. He saw it and awards him first base. That's a tough call to make. Unless you hear it, and he might have, that makes maybe a little sound. Very tough to be able to visually tell when a ball, does it hit the bat? Does it hit his hand? Yeah. Really tough to tell.
You would think the Dodgers would have Weaver bunting here, although he did triple leading off the third. He never made it home as these tourists struck out. Finley bounced out, and Bradley was caught looking. What an inning that was for Woody Williams. The Cardinals led 2-1 at the time. Then they picked up another run. And Jim Edmonds RBI double in the bottom of the third.
How about the strikeouts piling up for these Cardinal pitchers in this Dodgers series? 11 for Morris the first night, 9 for Marquis, and Woody has 5 already.
Everybody says first base. Mabry to Womack. Sacrifice good. And the first out. Harold Elliott is here today with his mom and dad from Florida. His dad's a big Boston Red Sox fan, and Harold's trying to win them over to the Cardinals. It's their first major league game they've ever seen in person. Running at second base. 1 out now, top of the order for the Dodgers. And Jose Hernandez the batter. And Rick, did we just get a report on why he replaced Izturis?
I believe they're saying up here in the press box that Izturis has a stomach irritation.
Jose Hernandez used to give some of his managers that very same malady because of his strikeouts.
Oh.
In 01, he struck out 185 times. The following year, 188, and last year, 177 times.
If you're going to do that, you better hit 75 home runs.
And I do remember in Milwaukee a couple of years ago, they kept him out of the lineup pretty much the last week of the regular season so he would not break the all-time strikeout record.
You're just pouring some stomach irritation medicine there all around Busch Stadium.
Jose Lima, what a personality that guy has. Cardinals took care of him here Friday night. Last night they took care of Ishii, trying to do the same with Jeff Weaver today. And Woody misses inside with a fastball, 3-1. Jose Hernandez, a 12-year major league veteran with Texas, Cleveland, the Cubs, the Braves, Milwaukee. He was with Colorado, the Cubs, and Pittsburgh last year. Out of play to the right side.
We talked about Terry Shumpert earlier. Just found out, a little bird told me that he's actually in Memphis playing against the Memphis Redbirds. And that team has been playing fairly well this year under Danny Schaefer. They're in second place, about 9 games out. They did win yesterday. Chris Prieto had 3 hits for the Redbirds. Belted out 17 hits.
And a bouncer, fair ball under Mabry down the line. Around to score, David Ross. A seeing eye base hit. And Larry Walker fell down again. Boy, you hope it's nothing to do with that groin. It looks more leg related. Larry tore his groin muscle off the bone earlier this year, but this looks to be something lower. Right knee.
Well, he's had a couple of issues already in this game. He fell on that knee fielding a ball off the right field wall. Let's take a look at what he does on this double off the right center field wall. He falls down. He actually falls on his left knee and twist that. Now let's take a look at this play down the line. He falls again. It looks like he gets his foot caught underneath his knee and goes down right away. Comes up throwing in a little bit of pain, and it looks like he may have twisted that right knee, would be my guess, with his foot underneath, foot getting caught underneath his knee in a bad position. And let's hope that's not a serious thing, just maybe tweak that knee, and hopefully we'll work it out.
And if there's any doubt at all, Larry Walker needs to get off the field and get some treatment.
Absolutely.
And let somebody else take over.
Absolutely.
This is a ball club 17 games ahead in first place. Ray Langford has already come out of the dugout, and evidently Marlon Anderson will move over to right field. So it looks like Tony wants Larry Walker out of the game. I'm not sure if Walker agrees. Here he comes.
Well, he doesn't get a vote. He's going to run off the field. That's a great thing to see. Not happy about doing it, but it is the absolute right thing to do. You know, it happens an awful lot, Bob, where you tweak something and then you actually injure it later. You get maybe just a slight pull, you feel a little pull in a hamstring, and then you go all out and you do something more dangerous to it. So I think Tony's being safe with Larry Walker right here, though he's not happy one bit.
Good to see Ray back. I'm really glad Ray accepted his demotion to AAA, Rick, because maybe it didn't seem too long to us, but sometimes when you're a player, they say, well, we'll have you back in a month or 5 weeks or 6 weeks. That seems like an eternity to a ball player.
Oh, there's no doubt. You just lose your sharpness. You just feel like you've kind of lost track of your teammates and you're not really in the flow anymore. But Ray has really fit right back in. We've seen him in the clubhouse. Nothing but positive in terms of his attitude. Very, very smiley around the batting cage, and seems like he's just glad to be on this team for this stretch run.
3-2 game now, and Steve Finley at the plate. Steve Finley 0 for 9 in this series. Double plays in order here. Cardinals turned a couple last night. Jose Hernandez with a short lead at first, and Finley skies one over the Cardinal dugout, well out of play. Hey, we'd like to wish happy wedding bells to Jacob Burkett and his bride, Laura Coop. I would imagine her name's Burkett now. They got married yesterday. They're from Flora, Illinois, and they're in the ballpark today, starting off their honeymoon.
Place to be.
Our kind of guys.
Got a wedding announcement today. Dave Nagel and Abby Ware were engaged on Friday. They're big Cardinal fans.
Going to scroll some of those scores for you. Brought to you by Waterway Gas and Car Wash. Waterway Car Wash. Best car washes in town. Cubbies again not able to play today at Florida. That is crazy what's happened with the schedule. And Finley hits one a mile, but it's well foul. The Cubs actually have been home all weekend, and they'll play Montreal in the opener of a 3-game series tomorrow. Nice job, Gal. Souvenir baseball. And a 1-2 pitch coming. And a little chopper. Mabry will go for the sure out. Woody! Oh, he almost got too relaxed. And he barely beat the hustling Finley. Let's hear a little chatter on the infield here. I believe that was Mabry with the get there, get there, get there.
And it was Matheny saying get over, get over, get over, which a catcher does anytime the ball's hit to the right of the pitcher. John Mabry saw that it was going to be a close play. Actually, what a pitcher can do on that is actually lean over and tag the guy as well. A lot of times you're running right along with the runner to first base, but tough play for Woody Williams. Good communication all the way around.
Because Woody did get that ball earlier than pitchers normally get it on that play. Here's Milton Bradley, who's had a kind of a bad day. Struck out swinging in the first, caught looking in the third with a runner at third. And there's how close that is. Woody obviously beat Finley, but it was a half step, if
Very
that
close.
Much.
A lot easier for a left-handed pitcher to tag the runner. Woody's got the glove on the left side, further away. He did the right thing. John Mabry probably should have taken that ball himself.
1-2 now to Bradley. Happy anniversary to Butch and Kathy McCreary, celebrating their 34th today. That's from their daughter Heather in Sparta, Illinois. Tony and Lisa Cusimano celebrating number 24. That was last Sunday, August 29th. Happy belated to them. We got the email a little late, but we wanted to give them a nice mention. Runner at second. 2 outs. Bradley jammed and he fouls it straight back.
Well, these Dodgers can't afford to be swept in this series. Yeah, they've got a lead in the Western Division, 4.5 games over San Francisco, but this team is not just fighting for the divisional championship, and Jim Tracy knows the importance of what we're talking about here. This team could also lose the wild card if they're not careful. Yeah. They're not a shoe-in here. They lead their division, but there's some other teams that are hot. Florida, Atlanta, of course, is hot in their division in the East, but there are other wild card potentials. Florida, certainly the Cubs, and Houston Astros are playing very well. They're winners of 8 straight.
And a little liner right there to Roland Woody's out of the inning. For the most part, he's really pitched well today when the Dodgers have had men on base. Halfway through the game, Cardinals lead 3-2.
A Grand Slam is good. The MasterCard 2004 Grand Slam ticket pack is very good. Purchase 4 Terrace Reserve tickets with your MasterCard to any Tuesday or Thursday game at Busch this season. And also get 4 free hot dogs and sodas, plus 4 of these very cool Cardinals floppy caps. Compliments of MasterCard, the preferred card of the Cardinals. That's 4 Terrace Reserve tickets, 3 hot dogs and soda, and 4 Cardinals floppy caps. A $140 value, all for just $60. Now that's a Grand Slam.
Hey, what you doing there? Text messaging?
Yeah, I just got this Kyocera phone, so it's really easy.
Text messaging is so dead. The new thing? Vacuum messaging. Check it.
Wireless phones by Kyocera. All the features, none of the hassles.
Hey.
Ew.
Pizza Hut's having a national pizza sale.
Buy any pizza at regular price and get any medium pizza for just $5 more.
I'll get a supreme
Regular price
and a pepperoni.
5 buckaroos.
Meat lovers.
5 aroma.
Peppers and onions.
5 arino.
Sausage.
Veggie lovers. 5 maximus. 5
Pizza Hut's national pizza sale. Buy any pizza at regular price and get up to 5 medium pizzas for just $5 each. The sale's so good you gotta go for more.
Hope the kids are hungry.
Gather around the good stuff.
This portion of Cardinal Baseball on WB11 is brought to you by your St. Louis area Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. And by your St. Louis area Toyota dealers. Bottom of the 5th inning. Cardinals on top 3-2. Warm day at Busch Stadium. Feels a lot warmer than 81, doesn't it? The Black Crows will be performing with Vince Gill tonight. And a big swing and a miss for Marlon Anderson. Bottom of the 5th inning underway. Marlon 0 for 2 and 0 for his last 10. Cardinals will see Ray Lankford in the batter's box. Drag bunt. It's well fouled. Chopper by Marlin right to the pitcher Weaver. And here's Ray. Ray Lankford called back from a rehab, activated from the DL Wednesday. A right wrist sprain had him on late July. He missed 36 games. Then he had a 9-game rehab at Memphis, where he hit 3 homers and drove in 5, batting .212.
You start to feel what it's like. Cardinal fans watching somebody like Marlon Anderson and just knowing how much you can pull for a guy like that, or even Ray Lankford, people that just want to see him do well, so well that it's almost frustrating when they're struggling. You're almost like you're struggling along with them.
Yeah, it's in there to Ray. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It can be a difficult job to be a fan when your guy's going through a rough time. Although this year I think the Cardinal fans have had not too many down times.
Well, you know, Rick, in some cities it's easy, like New York and Philly. They just boo the heck out of the guy and they don't care about him. But here in St. Louis, our fans truly care about our guys.
A lot more empathy.
Yeah, it does make it very difficult. I think that's one thing about Cardinal fans we don't hear about that often. They know the game, but they also know how difficult it is to play the game. A lot of fans they don't get that in other places.
And I think from the players' point of view, there's a respect for them as people, not just players, athletes. You know, if Ray Lankford has a bad day and gets sent down, or a player gets released, or I mean, you realize you're talking about people. You're talking about guys with families who, you know, they're athletes, and you look at them in one sense and say they're your heroes, or they're representing your town and your team, but yet in a very real sense they're just people, just dealing with things like everybody else does.
Yeah, we forget about that, and the fact that Ray might have to call Yolanda and say, honey, I got sent out today, and tell the girls. Hey, Ray Lankford, good at bat.
We've been talking about the bat pilfering that's going on. Chris Carpenter bat. Wow. I guess he couldn't get one of those Albert Pujols bats like Larry Walker did.
Chris Carpenter's bats are 5 for 56 this year.
Well, some people would say there are probably some hits left in them.
That's right. Happy anniversary to Dave and Pat Biddle, celebrating number 50 today. We'd like to thank them for their email through KPLR that got that on the air. We wish them all the best on their golden anniversary. Here's Scott Rowland, 0 for 2, a line out, a called third strike. Scott, by the way, if you hadn't noticed, is no longer the major league leader in RBIs. Miguel Tejada of Oakland is.
Kim Zarley would like to wish her husband a happy birthday today. His name is Kent Zarley, and he's been a Cardinal fan since he was 9 years old, and his dad took him to his first St. Louis Cardinal game in 1967. It's his 46th birthday, and they are watching today and rooting from Des Moines, Iowa.
That ball really hit hard by Rowland, and well fouled.
How about this line drive? Does it stay fair? No, it hooks. And we get a good look at that ball right into the corner.
Yeah, thank you, Tony Angelis. Nice camera work. I bet he could do golf. This one high and deep to center. Back goes Finley. It is caught at the wall. Racing back to first is Ray Lankford on a long second out by Scott Rowland.
Well, Scott Rowland did not quite get enough extension on that ball. He didn't really get all of that on that swing, but the ball carried very well to center field, and Finley comes up with it. Another look at the extension. It looks like he doesn't quite have his arms extended as much as he would have liked. Still gets pretty good wood on the ball, and Finley jumps just in case, still able to catch it about shoulder high, and about at that yellow mark over the top of the wall.
Edmonds goes the other way, and this one slicing away from Bradley. Another ground rule double by Jim Edmonds. The first one cost the Cardinals a run. That one may do the same. It'll be second and third, 2 outs, and Jim Edmonds is 3 for 3 with doubles every time.
He has 104 RBIs on the year, and if it were not for the height of this fence, he'd have 106 as he picks up his third extra base hit. This time he goes the other way. Ball on the inside part, inside out swing, slicing away from the left fielder Milton Bradley, and again hops over the fence. No question that Ray Lankford would have been able to score from first base. Jim Edmonds robbed of 2 RBIs this afternoon, and it'll be John Mabry's job to make sure these runs aren't left out there. He left 2 stranded in the third.
2-run homer the time before that. Cardinals have out-hit the Dodgers 6-5, and every St. Louis hit has been at least a double. You just don't pitch to John Mabry in this situation. But the Dodgers do know there's a slumping Hector Luna on deck. Tony has a very deep bench. I don't know if he would make a move here. You might be damaging the confidence of your young player if you do. If this is a ball game when you're 3 games ahead in the race instead of 17, you might do something here.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. If this is a game you need to win last week of the season, a move is made here, but you've made the decision to go with Hector Luna for the start and give Edgar Renteria the day off, and you don't want to bring him into the game in the 5th inning. It really defeats the purpose. I think mentally what you try to do with your starters is give them the game off if you can make that happen. Yeah. Maybe let them pinch hit, but you have to go out there and all of a sudden gear up and turn it up for the last 3 or 4 innings. You know, it's like not really having a day off.
The Cardinals don't have any left-handed or switch-hitting infielders, although Cody McKay can play a little bit around. But it's Hector. He needs to be a little patient and selective here, not get himself out, and he does a good job by taking that one outside ball 1. Bottom of the 5th, Cardinals trying to bust it open now. They've led 2-1, 3-1, 3-2. And almost 4-2. That didn't miss him by much. Little backup breaking ball. Ray Lankford walked with 1 out. Jim Edmonds doubled. Mabry walked intentionally.
Hector did everything he could do to let that ball hit him.
That's a good way to get an RBI. And that's a good job of not hacking on 2-0. He'll have at least a 4-pitch at bat here. Big gap in left center. Lots of room down the left field line.
Be a good time for Hector to break out. He's been in slump, his average dipping to 221. Got an opportunity right here to start going in the right direction.
Very late for that one. Strike 2. And sometimes it's hard to tell a young player to shorten up his swing and make contact. That was a long swing.
Long swing, and he just does not have very good timing right now either. And you can blame it on not playing, but you know he's doing a lot of extra work early, a lot of work with Mitch Page and Jose Oquendo. You just got to be ready.
Maybe he'll hit a grand slam. Now the count goes full. Two outs, runners will be on the move. The crowd on its feet. A sea of red suddenly rising. And Hector delivers. What a good at bat by Hector Luna, and a badly needed base hit.
Oh, there's a lot of pressure off his shoulders right now. The 3-2 pitch. He's not going to walk Hector Luna, who is struggling, and he hits the ball right up the middle, and the big crowd goes nuts. They're so excited about this. You mentioned the sea of red on their feet here at Busch Stadium, willing Hector Luna to break out of his slump, and he does just that. He clapped his hands in excitement after rounding first base, and you can see the you can see the relief on his face standing on first base.
And the motivation job is continuing right now. You know that Dave McKay is pumping him with every ounce of confidence he can right now. Just got a big hit, and Dave's really letting him have it from the positive standpoint.
Well, you have to be a psychologist almost to be a big league coach, particularly the pitching coach, but really everybody, it's all positive, positive, positive. You coach when you have to, you direct when you have to, but you want to do everything you can to get players thinking positively.
Mike Matheny swinging the bat well. Double earlier today, 2 for 6 in the series. And he walked his last time up. So Hector Luna, RBIs number 17 and 18. That was the first Cardinal single of the day. Perfect time for it. Jeff Weaver looks like he's ready to rip a dugout water cooler right out of the wall. Talking to himself.
21 out of his last 24 starts we mentioned were quality starts. He's not going to get one here as he's given up 5 already. Cardinals still hitting in the 5th.
Matheny caught looking, and Mike doesn't like the call. 2 walks, a double by Edmonds, and Hector Luna with a bouncing ball up the middle for 2. And after 5, the Cards open up a 3-run lead, biggest of the day.
A set of 4 13-inch passenger tires as low as $100. 14-inch only $139.95. Where? Plaza Tire Service. Tires that fit perfectly. Save now at Plaza Tire Service on truck and SUV tires from major brand names. Dayton Timberline's on sale as low as $64.95. Plaza Tire Service. Tires that fit your truck or SUV perfectly.
Price, selection, convenience, savings, service. Plaza Tire Service. Tires that fit perfectly.
Option Care, you feel good about the choice.
Option Care is licensed as a pharmacy, but specializes in injectable and IV therapies in the home. Option Care has pharmacists that prepare sterile products for injection and IV therapy in your home. We also have nurses who are able to instruct and administer medications in your home if necessary.
Assistance needed in the showroom. Help to the showroom. Stat.
The joy of sticker shock. During Ford's model year clearance, just look for the sticker with up to $5,000 cash back on your favorite 2004 Ford cars.
I think she's coming around.
Marion Eye Centers and Optical guarantees the lowest prices on eyeglasses in the United States every day. Shop around. You won't beat the rock bottom prices on top quality eyewear at Marion Eye Centers and Optical.
Cardinal Trivia brought to you by Schnucks, where shopping is easy. Former member Cardinal Dodgers to win over 200, but never 20 in a single season.
I think I know this one, but I'm going to hold out on it.
That's really interesting.
Because I think I played with this guy. That's the only hint I'll give you.
Okay.
And it wasn't for the Cardinals or the Dodgers.
Ah. White Sox or Cleveland, huh?
Or my high school team.
Top of the 6th inning, Adrian Beltre for the Dodgers, 1 for 2 with an opposite field home run. His 44th of the year to lead all of baseball. 2 balls, 1 strike. You're watching Cardinal baseball. KPLR TV, St. Louis, WB11. Wherever you are around our 8-state Cardinal network today, hope you're having a great Sunday. So Taguchi's in right field now, and Beltre hits that one foul. You know what? We have a birthday we need to talk about today. Our technical director, Don Lucy, has a birthday today. And that was a message we received from his family, his friends, and his so-called, self-called adoring son, Donnie. Happy birthday, Don Lucy. One of the best in the business. Jim Edmonds stumbled, and it'll be taken by Luna. As Edmonds made his break, he almost fell down.
Jim Edmonds does not get a good jump on his actually slips, and Hector Luna, full of confidence. I'll get it. I just got an RBI hit. I'm feeling good about myself. You notice Tony Womack headed for the bag at second base just in case Luna drops the ball. Somebody's got to cover second. People hustling all over the place. Jim Edmonds looked like he might have stumbled a little bit there in center field and tweaked his knee as well. Can't have these Cardinals going down with injuries.
Sean Green hits it the opposite way. Ray Lankford on the track with the shades on for the second out. And Rick, I was just about to ask you about Woody Williams. You've just been handed your biggest lead of the day. And what would be the most important thing for him to do in this inning, maybe the next?
Strike, strike, strikes. We talk time and time again about it's important to throw up a 0 after your team scores and settle into a lead. Get that sense that we've got a 3-run lead, not a temporary thing, but a permanent thing. We've talked about how important it is for the Cardinals to lead after 7 because they rarely lose when they lead after 7. But I think Woody, you know, in his mind has to really not try to change and do something too different. Just continue to make good pitches, get the leadoff hitter out, very basic things for pitchers to do, and settle into this lead.
Bounce it to the right side, Tony Womack. What a great inning for Woody Williams after getting a 3-run lead. He did so well. We're going to let Woody lead off bottom of the 6th.
There's a feeling in my heart that I can't explain. Is this love? The look in your eyes I just can't explain. Is this love? I lose myself after blame. So tomorrow, will you feel the same? Is this love? Is this love? Is this love?
Showed you some cowboy sitting around a campfire eating the new Western Bacon Thick Burger. But then, who'd want to watch that? The Western Bacon Thick Burger with Angus beef, new at Hardee's.
Okay, here are the facts. You're looking at Mr. Opportunity. I'm looking at a beautiful Civic. And lucky break for you, Honda is having a clearance. Now listen, there's a chance for big savings here, people. So say it with me. Right place, right time, right now. The 2004 Honda clearance. Hey, you wait. You're going to be late. Now you can lease a new Civic Value Package for $159 a month for 36 months at where? Your Honda dealer. Good. I'm Mr. Opportunity, and I am still knocking.
Hey kids, are you a Cardinals fan? Well, don't forget to register at any area Great Clip Salon to be an honorary bat boy or bat girl at a Cardinals game. The contest is open to all kids age 8 through 13. Get a great haircut and register for a great experience as a Cardinals honorary bat boy or bat girl, only at Great Clips.
Jeff Weaver to Woody Williams. Bottom of the 6th underway. Little guy's got it all covered, huh? Front, back, side. He looks like a member of the Cardinals Foreign Legion. No balls, 2 strikes. And Woody pops it up to the right side. That's okay, Woody. Get off the field, find some shade, and get some rest. Let's answer our Schnucks trivia question. Pitcher over 200 games, or is it a pitcher?
I think the answer to this question is Jerry Royce, and it is. He was actually there when Jerry won his 200th game, and he had, let's just say he was a little long in the tooth when we were teammates, and I told him, went up to him and congratulated him in his locker and said, Jerry, this is something that someday you're going to be able to tell your grandchildren about, winning 200 games. I said, in fact, why don't you get him on the phone right now?
You are brutal. Beautiful. Finley puts that one away. Hot pitch of the game brought to you by Hardee's. 100% Angus beef thick burgers only at Hardee's.
But Woody Williams has been around the plate all day. Very good control. There's a fastball on the outside part of the plate. Sean Green didn't like the pitch, but Woody Williams did. Very good control today. Has only walked 1 batter. Cardinal control has been great all 3 days here between Marquis and Morris and Woody Williams, not issuing a lot of free passes, piling up the strikeouts.
First at bat today for So Taguchi. And a breaking ball dropped in there. That ball is slapped down into the corner. The Cardinals are hitting extra bases like crazy today. Another double. 8 hits, 6 doubles, 1 homer, 1 single.
Had a strange day yesterday, just 2 hits and 5 runs. As Taguchi hits the ball down the line, very polished base runner, hits the inside corner of the base and heads to second with a sure double. So Taguchi, another good button pushed by Tony La Russa.
Yeah, how about John Mabry today? How about Hector Luna? And here's Ray. Langford walked with 1 out last inning to get things going, and he hooks that ball just foul. And Ray almost had himself a double.
The left-hander Scott Stewart is loosening in the Dodger bullpen.
Dodgers have 3 lefties. We saw Mike Venefro last night. Wilson Alvarez, a former starter, pretty much a bullpen guy now. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ray Langford. By the way, we haven't talked about any other scores in a while. The Yankees are still tied at 3 in the 8th inning at home with Baltimore. And the Red Sox are leading 4-0. They could be a game and a half out tonight. Amazing. In the American League East.
They won 9 out of their last 10. Let's say it's 18 out of their last 20. The Red Sox are
amazing.
A lot of hot teams in baseball. It's like the teams have just decided it's time to go to the whip. And you've got 5 or 6 teams that are red hot. We've mentioned the National League teams, but Boston's an American League team in that same boat. They're just winning every night out.
Houston's ahead again, 7-5 at home in a slugfest with the Pirates in the 5th inning. And if the Astros win that, that'd be their 9th in a row. And they'd only be a game and a half back of the Cubs in the wild card race. This has to be driving the Cubs crazy, sitting around while everybody else is playing. The Marlins too, for that matter.
They'll get over it.
But when you're the front runner, it's especially frustrating.
Oh, it is. There's no doubt it's frustrating. It's been a season of frustration for the Cubs.
Satchel Paige would love this because he said never look back. Somebody will be gaining on you.
And if you're stopped, they're certainly going to be gaining on you, and that's what's happened. And Dusty Baker does a good job of leading those guys over there. I have a lot of respect for him, but there's got to be a lot of frustration building up in that clubhouse. The injuries they've had, the underperformance, and now what they're dealing with this week. Tough year.
Ray Langford with that Chris Carpenter bat, fouling one out of play to the left side. There's the wild card as it stands right now. Look at that. 5 teams within 2 games.
That's a great race right there. That's a great race.
That was close. Ray leaned back. That ball had some run on it. I think Jeff Weaver's hacked off about that. He had an extended conversation with himself on the mound last inning.
Pretty animated when he went into the dugout as well at the end of last inning.
He was.
A few choice words.
Breaking ball, and Langford hits it to center. And Finley had that ball moving on him. His glasses were blazing in the sun. The Cardinals are gone in the 6th. They've stranded 7, and the Redbirds still lead 5-2.
There's nothing like it on the track, the trail, or on the dunes. There's nothing like it on the planet. The radically new TRX 450R from Honda. It's won the toughest outdoor race in the world, the Baja 1000. It's won the toughest indoor series too, the Formula USA Pro Quad Championship. The new TRX 450R from Honda. Nothing else even comes close.
Does this really look like a Southern Illinois skyline? You want a bank that belongs, just like you do. With Heron Security Bank, you can have a bank that has been a part of your community for almost 50 years. At Heron Security Bank, local people help local businesses and customers make their dreams and visions a reality. Whether it's your first checking account, first home, or planning for your retirement, financial service and a commitment to community service make Heron Security Bank a real community bank. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Announcing the grand finale at your Lincoln Mercury dealer. Your last chance to get incredible model year-end savings on every 2004 Lincoln & Mercury in stock, including the Mercury Grand Marquis, with the only standard V8 and the largest trunk in its class, plus the government's highest 5-star safety rating in all 5 categories. All for around $19,635 after $4,000 cash back, plus an additional $1,000 when you finance through Ford Credit. Get to the grand finale at your Lincoln Mercury dealer before time runs out.
After the game, our Pizza Hut postgame show. Don Bell, former Cardinal pitcher Scott Terry will analyze this one for you. They'll wrap up what could be a 6-0 homestand and set you up for what could be a 6-0 road trip. We're being optimistic, and why not? The newest Cardinal is left-hander Carmen Kelly.
Well, there's some left-handers in this Dodger lineup, quite a few on the bench. And Carmen Kelly's at least getting a scare here. That's what you call it in the bullpen when you get to warm up. It's called a scare. And if you come into a game, and you know, that's another deal, but you're at least getting scared right now, and you're trying to give the young guy a chance to get that feeling and the adrenaline pumping about actually being in a game, whether he comes in or not.
Yeah.
I'm kind of anxious to see Rick Ankiel for the first time.
Matheny says, I got it. Yes, he does. Yeah, I was just thinking, if the Cardinals scored a couple more runs, there's another left-hander we might see today. Some more infield chatter. You played it well, Mike.
Catcher's the quarterback. He's the one barking the signals. Great thing about Mike is he understands the game so well, and the catcher really does lead the way in terms of on the field communication. As Ross lines one foul down the left field line, the catcher can see everything on the field. It's all in front of him. The infielders can't see what's behind them. The outfielders can't really communicate from where they are, but the catcher is the one that is really quarterbacking the team on any bunt plays, hit and runs, you name it. They're looking for him for leadership, and Mike Matheny is not going to shy away from leadership.
Two balls and a strike to David Ross. Jason Grabowski in the on-deck circle to hit for Jeff Weaver. And this ball popped up left side. Roland points. Luna watches, waves off Ray, who calls it at the last moment.
You know, Bob, I had a great opportunity this past week to visit the Cardinal Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum, and folks haven't been there. It's just got a lot of great information there, and one of the things I found out a lot of things, learned a lot of things in there. One of the things I found out was that in 1899, this team was called the St. Louis Perfectos.
Yes, sir.
For just 1 year. And the thought really occurred to me that perhaps we're due to change back to that name again, the way this team is playing.
I got some numbers for you, Rick. Since 1969, when divisional play started, and this is Jason Grabowski, the outfielder, hitting for the pitcher, only 2 teams have played .667 ball, and what that means is twice as many wins as losses. The 1975 Cincinnati Big Red Machine and the '86 Mets both went 108 and 54. Perfect .667 ball. Both of them went on to win the World Series.
Well, hopefully that's an indication for where these Cardinals are headed. Both of these teams have rings on their mind right now, National League Championship rings or World Series championship rings. And it's within both of their grasp.
But see, there's something wrong if you go way past 667, like the Mariners did a couple of years ago when they won 116. They never made it out of the first round of the playoffs.
That was some streak that team had.
So you got to settle for 108 wins. Easy inning for Woody. How about this guy? He retires 8 in a row through the 5th, 6th, and 7th, shutting the door on the Dodgers. Time to stretch at Busch. 5-2 Cards.
At Steak and Shake, we serve old-fashioned milkshakes. They're hand-dipped, made with real milk, and topped with whipped cream and a cherry. Other places...
Remember, you can't say anything nice. Don't say anything at all.
...have festively colored cups.
Introducing new side-by-side milkshakes. Choose any 2 hand-dipped milkshakes and we'll pour them into a single glass. Who says you can't have it both ways?
Steak and Shake. We have new side-by-side milkshakes.
Give your engine what it wants. Pennzoil with time-release molecules delivers non-stop protection throughout the life of your oil. Not just oil. Pennzoil.
Get $5 off a Pennzoil HMV or SUV truck and minivan oil change at St. Louis Honda.
I'm a shopper. I can smell a bargain from 3, maybe 4 aisles away. So how did I miss it? The best values were so close. At a bank.
Shopping for a home equity loan? Most banks have fees. Annual fees, early payoff fees, non-usage fees. Don't pay them. At Commerce, there are no gotchas, no bank fees, just great low rates. That's Ask, Listen, Solve.
And to think, it was right under my nose.
Commerce Bank, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey kids, are you a Cardinals fan? Well, don't forget to register at any area Great Clip Salon to be an honorary bat boy or bat girl at a Cardinals game. The contest is open to all kids age 8 through 13. Get a great haircut and register for a great experience as a Cardinals honorary bat boy or bat girl, only at Great Clips.
Great 7th inning stretch at the ballpark today. A great rendition of God Bless America. And as we come up bottom 7, Cindy Smith is our merchandise winner in the Hyundai long drive inning sweepstakes. If the Cardinals hit a home run this inning, Cindy Smith qualifies for the Hyundai Santa Fe drawing in September. To register, visit a St. Louis area Hyundai dealer. And good luck, Cindy. A call to the bullpen, Rich. It's left-hander Wilson Alvarez for the Dodgers.
And I'll tell you what, guys, this call to the bullpen brought to you by Fast Eddie's Bon Air, Alton, Illinois. They've got the biggest shrimp going. I mean, bigger than your thumb. You get across that Clark Bridge, get to Fast Eddie's, 99-cent Fat Eddie burgers, huge, big Elwood on a stick, Bob Carpenter's personal favorite. It's the call to the bullpen brought to you by Fast Eddie's Bon Air. Get there when you can. Don't go if you're not 21 years old. They're not going to let you in, guys.
Not a worry for us. Wilson Alvarez 7-5 on the year, 14 starts, 33 appearances. As mentioned earlier, mainly a bullpen guy at this stage of his career. He's 34 years of age.
Done some spot starting. He has started 14 games for the Dodgers. When Ishii was having some struggles, they wanted to put Alvarez in this rotation and take Ishii out, but they've had a couple injuries, including Brad Penny, which forced Ishii back into the rotation, and they put Alvarez back in the pen.
How about a knit Cardinals winter cap courtesy of Coke and Target Saturday the 2nd. Also a Big Mac Land bonus day. Now that's October 2nd. Cardinals Brewers that day. You can get information on this, other Cardinal promotions. Call the switchboard at 421-3060 or log on to stlcardinals.com. Bottom of the 7th inning.
Want to mention that stat one more time in case folks didn't catch that. When the Cardinals lead after 7 innings, their record is 73-2.
That is strong.
Very strong.
Scott Brolin leads off, bottom of the 7th. There was a time when Wilson Alvarez was one of the premier pitchers in baseball, but it was a very short time. He won 15 games for the White Sox in 93, 12 in 94, 15 in 96. And then the Tampa Bay Devil Rays decided to spend over $100 million on Wilson Alvarez, Fred McGriff, Juan Guzman, Vinny Castilla, and Jose Canseco. A list at best that was suspect to begin with. As Vince Namoli and Chuck Lamar went for the quick hit down in Tampa, it never worked. And $100 million plus later, they're finally developing young players down there.
Well, it's tough when you invest that much money on just one player and an injury might slow him down. And a lot of times that's not the player's fault. It just happens. You get injured and you become a bad deal for them. And developing players is always the way to go. Sprinkle them in with the right players who are free agents, as we get a look at Kyocera, who's back with the ball club. Has yet to appear in a game since his recall from Memphis.
Outside to Jim Edmonds. Hey, happy birthday to Chris Klutz today. 10 years of age from Murfreesboro, Illinois. Gene Hahn is 80 years young. Gene and 34 of her family members are here at the ballpark today cheering on the Cardinals down in section 274 on the left field line, and that foul ball headed over that way. From last week, Ellie and Ellie Mae Cummins from Cottage Hills, Illinois. Same birthday, 5 years apart. Effie was 11. Ellie Mae was 6. Happy birthday, girls. Ray Murphy celebrating number 86 in 2 days. From Harrison, Arkansas, that's from his son Kenneth. Happy birthday to Ray. And a 1-1 to Edmonds. And this one popped up out into left, broke back, now in Milton Bradley.
The Dodger bullpen's done very well in this series, but there's a guy we haven't seen at all.
And we didn't see Trevor Hoffman either.
Back-to-back series. That's, you know, and one of the battles you like to see is Eric Gagne pitching against the Rollins and the Pujols, but we can see that some other year, as far as I'm concerned.
October.
It's got to be frustrating for him to be sitting out there. You know, they like activity. They don't want to just sit for 3 days, and particularly in big games like this series is, and they're going to have more big games down the stretch. Right. Sometimes there are dry periods for relief pitchers, and you got to do what you can to stay sharp. And you know, they feed on that adrenaline of that 9th inning and that crowd and that rush. And right now he's basically has a 3-day vacation in St. Louis, at least till now.
0-1 to John Mabry, and that evens the count. Jared Leeper from Nevada, Iowa. Happy birthday. Tomorrow, Jared will be 16 on Labor Day. And Bob Lindeman and Bob Parr both celebrating birthdays today. That's from Karen Ilgis. One Bob is her dad, the other's her boyfriend, and they have the same birthday. I like the chances of that relationship. Happy birthday, all you guys, and my good buddy, my brother-in-law, John Baird. Friday the 3rd, John had a birthday. Happy birthday to my paisan down in South County. 2 balls and a strike to John Mabry. That one's upstairs. John's had a good day. 2-run homer and a walk back in the 5th. Dylan Rubel, a happy 9th birthday, here with his family from Mount Sterling, Illinois.
John looks to be a little overmatched by this left-hander Alvarez, who has actually one in the top 10 of active left-handed pitchers in terms of career wins. You mentioned he put together some pretty good seasons. He is a winner.
Oh, John thought that ball was outside. On the corner, says Wally Bell. And the Cardinals are gone in the 7th. Redbirds 5, Dodgers 2. They haven't had a hit since the 5th inning.
Units per transaction, then we could up the margins by a very sizable
Listen, you can't even hear it. What? The XLI. You have a Trane XLI cooling system? Of course it's quiet. It's those galvanized steel louvers. Oh, how rugged. Tell me about it. Climate tough compressor and its fine fin coil. It might outlast Evelyn's 3rd marriage. What? Oh, next we buy you a baby carriage.
Must be some air conditioner. The Trane XLI. It's hard to stop a train.
Install a new Trane high-efficiency comfort system and enjoy the benefits year-round. Contact Averill Heating and Air Conditioning today. It's hard to stop a train.
ML350 comes standard with emergency sensing brake assist, electronic stability program, 8 airbags, and permanent 4-wheel drive. The extended forearm hand block, however, is optional. The M-Class starts at $38,670.
The St. Louis law firm of Gallup, Johnson & Newman reminds you that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the St. Louis Cardinals, LLC. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals, LLC. Gallup, Johnson & Newman, your business legal team, when the game is on the line. In the gateway to the west, a look to the west, and now a look to the bullpen. Kyocera takes over for the very effective Woody Williams.
The 29-year-old right-hander is our call to the bullpen, brought to you by Seeger Toyota. Don't miss the summer clearance sale going on now at Seeger Toyota. They have big selection there. Seeger Toyota is so sure that you'll be happy with your new Toyota that the owner will give you his home phone number. Seeger Toyota on Olive. Anxious to see this return to the big leagues for Kyocera. He was excellent in his rehab assignment in Memphis, striking out 13 batters in the 6 innings that he faced there, and I've been told that his last time out he was almost unhittable. He had flashes of brilliance this year. Got a very nasty slider, but he dealt with that shoulder tendonitis that forced him onto the disabled list, and he has been out since early August.
And a fly ball off the bat of Jose Hernandez, out of play to the right side. The only good news for the Dodgers today just appeared on the scoreboard. The Diamondbacks got a run in the first at San Francisco. There is a chance that by the end of this day, the Giants would be only 3.5 back of the Dodgers. San Diego scoreless after 1. They're hosting the beatable Rockies at home, and the Pods could be only 5 back when the day is done. Cardinals are wreaking some serious havoc in the National League West race. Happy 40th birthday tomorrow to buddy Jeff Garcia. That's from our booth manager Timmy Garcia and Tammy Roth. Happy birthday to Jeff.
Dodgers do have an opportunity to play San Francisco the last series of the season. Friday, Saturday, Sunday in LA, and they have a number of games left against San Diego as well.
Good start for Kyco, striking out Jose Hernandez. And now Steve Finley, who's 0 for 10 in this series. And you might have seen the score we scrolled by you there. The Astros about to win again. 9-5 in the late innings at Houston. And finally, Phil Garner really turning that ball club around. And here's the thing about wild cards. Based on Anaheim 2 years ago and the Marlins last year, those clubs don't go into the playoffs feeling like they're underdogs. Jack McKeon told me the other night in New York, if they make the playoffs, they feel like they can beat the Cardinals, the Braves, the Dodgers, or anybody from the West because of the way they play, Rick. Pitching, defense, speed, small ball, and that's you don't score 10 runs in a playoff game.
I think that's happened also because of recent history, where you see the wild card team do so well in the playoffs that there's no mystique about that anymore. The idea is to just get in. So if you're a wild card team, it means you have the 4th best record in your league, which means you've played pretty good baseball all year long. It's not like it's like the NFL or hockey where you're just throwing in a 500 team. You're talking about a team that deserves to be in the playoffs. Tony
Womack throws out Finley, 2 outs. Cardinal pitchers, and Woody had 8 of them, have retired 10 straight now since Hernandez had that RBI base hit in the 5th under the glove of John Mabry.
We have a great birthday to announce here. Rose Amon is celebrating her 99th birthday today.
Wow.
And she does not miss a game on the WB. Watches us every weekend. She watches Cardinal baseball religiously. And we want to wish Rose Amon a happy 99th.
You know, Rose has been alive so long She remembers the Cubs winning their last World Series in 1908. She was 3 years old. Isn't that wonderful?
Not many folks can say that.
1 ball, 1 strike now to Bradley. Milton 0 for 3 today. Can you imagine the changes that lady has seen in her life? In the world around her?
Some good, some bad.
Milton Bradley hits the ball well to left. That ball eats up Ray. Bradley will go to second. Kind of in between there was Langford. He thought he might have a chance to catch it. And then when he pulled up short, the ball just rammed right into him.
We've had a lot of similar plays to this in this series. Not sure whether to come in or hang back. And Ray actually takes that ball off the chest. And it bounces off to the side. He thought he might have a chance of making a shoestring catch, but the ball was a sinking line drive off the bat of Milton Bradley. That's his first hit of this series. Ray Langford tried to keep the ball in front of him. It just bounced off, and that's going to be a single and an error on the Cardinal left fielder.
Adrian Beltre 1 for 3.
One thing I tell you, when you watch Kyocera pitch, he has got as sharp a slider as you're ever going to see. That pitch right there off the outside corner, that's his best pitch. He's going to use it 80% of the time. It is so sharp. He comes with a fastball to keep him honest.
I guess you can go to your nose when you're on the mound, but not in your mouth. Huh?
That's right.
So Taguchi waiting for that one. Cardinals full of life here at the ballpark today. The Dodgers just got their first hit in 4 innings. Bottom of the St. Louis order, 5-2 Redbirds. Bottom 8, and Kiko looks relieved.
Infrastructure. Millions of miles of voice and data lines out there. Who maintains all that? Well, in a large part of this country, SBC does. Why SBC? Seemed only right since we built it in the first place. SBC, going beyond the call.
I'm joining because I want more energy.
Because exercise helps prevent heart disease.
Because 3 pools give us more options.
I'm joining for my wife.
I'm joining for my husband.
Because yoga looks like fun. Because St. Francis is great for therapy.
And will help me grow even stronger.
Because I want to enjoy my youth.
Join Fitness Plus now for your own reasons and receive 45% off the enrollment fee.
I deserve the best, and St. Francis has it at Fitness Plus.
Get ready for a whole new kind of Dodge. Introducing the all-new Magnum SXT with a 3.5-liter high-output engine and all-speed traction control. Open it up and find a tri-fold cargo floor, unique access liftgate, even a powerful Boston acoustic sound system. Dodge Magnum SXT, a whole different ride. Velocity meets versatility. The all-new Magnum starting at $22,495, only at your Dodge dealer.
Hey, Cardinal fans, visit STLCardinals.com, #1 site for live game pitch-by-pitch coverage. MLB.TV, MLB.com game day audio, JimJackson.com. It's all found at StLouisCardinals.com, where baseball is always on. Jim producing and engineering our Cardinal Radio Network.
I don't know if there is a JimJackson.com, but if there was, there'd be a lot of information there. He is a wonderful man. He really is.
RickSchool.com with a call to the bullpen.
Yes, indeed. Here we go. Bottom 8, call to the bullpen, brought to you by Fast Eddie's Bon Air. Now, I told you about it just a while ago. If the Dodgers could stick around tonight, they would probably go to Fast Eddie's Bon Air for dinner, music, and great, great fun. Half-pound burgers, shrimp that are huge. They're bigger than your thumb. It's like your fist. And Eddie is a wonderful guy. Go up and tell him Rich said so. This call of the bullpen brought to you by Fast Eddie's Bon Air, Alton, Illinois. Maxim Magazine says it's the greatest bar in the country, guys.
Well, Rich, I don't know why they wouldn't want to stick around. There's nothing at all to do in L.A. Alton, L.A. Alton, L.A.
They got games to play in L.A.
Dodgers have been on the road for a murderous, almost 2-week road trip here. That took them, what, New York, Montreal, Arizona, then St. Louis. They did not consult AAA before that triptych was published.
Some crazy scheduling things all year. We talked about the Cardinals not playing the Cubs the last couple of months of the season, but also the trips are not designed most economically. I wouldn't say. I don't know how they've come up with such crazy schedules for them to go from Montreal to New York to Arizona to St. Louis back home. Just crazy travel.
Dodger pitcher, 24-year-old Yency Brazaban, a young man from Santo Domingo of the Dominican Republic. Dodgers got him in a 4-player deal with the Yankees last December.
I'm not sure that the Dodger bullpen actually has an American-born pitcher.
Scott Stewart, maybe.
Scott Stewart.
You know, he could be from England.
Could be.
Hector Luna hits the ball straight away. Hits the ball well. Finley back. Got it. 395 feet away. That's the Steve Finley we know.
You're starting to wonder whether somebody had stolen Steve Finley's jersey and was playing center field for the Dodgers. But just to prove it, that he is in fact Steve Finley. That's a nice play going back. He knew where the wall was. And another nice at bat from Hector Luna. That's good to see.
Next up is Mike Matheny. We talked earlier today about chatter on the infield. In a moment, you're going to hear pitter-patter of hustling feet in the outfield. We've got a microphone out there in center field. You know, Steve, you can at least say hi to us next time after you make the play.
Could have.
And folks, if you ever come to a ball game at Busch Stadium, be careful what you say. Our crew might be listening. Mike Matheny in the number 8 hole. He's had a double and a walk today, and a pitch a little bit outside, 2-1.
Roger Cedeno is in the on-deck circle. He'll be hitting for Calero.
We hear all and see all here at the ballpark.
Big brother is watching.
Matheny locked up, couldn't pull the trigger, couldn't hold up, and it's 2-2. Home plate umpire Wally Bell has had a long day out there. We don't give enough credit to those guys for how hard they work. We talked about Guccione and his hustle earlier today. Well, Wally Bell's been out there for every pitch and has done a very fine job. Other than a few little problems Jeff Weaver thought he might be having with a couple of pitches and some appeals, Wally Bell has been right on his game today, and that's a 13-year Major League veteran.
There's more frustration on Weaver's part than it was the problem with Wally Bell. The umpires have really been good this entire homestand. There have been very few calls that you would question. A lot of close calls, too, but they've been right on top of every one of them.
Mike Matheny overmatched by Yency Brazaban. That'll be his first strikeout. Cardinal Baseball is a production of Bud Sports and an exclusive presentation of WB11. There's our microphone in the center field wall.
Looks like some cleat marks just below it, probably caused by Jim Edmonds, I would guess, on one of his many leaps. Those are, I can't really make out whether that's Edmonds' shoe size or not. But if I was an investigative reporter, he'd be the first guy I would question.
He uses those spikes to dig into that padding and climb up over that 8-foot yellow line. When Busch Stadium first opened Back in '66, the outfield wall was 10 feet 8 inches tall. I mean, you couldn't reach over that wall for a ball. But a lot of the ballparks now make things a little more exciting by giving the outfielders a chance to pull the ball back. Roger Cedeno pinch hits for Kyocera here. It is still a safe situation, 5-2. Looking ahead to the 9th inning, so that's why Jason Isringhausen is getting ready, and number 40, Rick, is awaiting him.
He's just got one more guy to catch. Armando Benitez leads the National League in saves. Izzy sitting on 39, just 2 ahead of Eric Gagne.
Armando Benitez, I think, at last count, has 10 saves against his former team, the Mets. 10 saves against one team in 1 year. And he used to play for them. Roger Cedeno hits one high and far to right field, but Sean Green is there, and we're going to the 9th inning. Jason Isringhausen, unstoppable lately, as are the Cardinals. They are 3 outs away from their 92nd win.
Hey, I see you all the time. You think you're a little thing, waiting to give me a line. Give me a line. Give me a love. Can't taste. Yeah, that's right. You're gonna have to chase me.
A Grand Slam is good. The MasterCard 2004 Grand Slam ticket pack is very good. Purchase 4 Terrace Reserve tickets with your MasterCard to any Tuesday or Thursday game at Busch this season. And also get 4 free hot dogs and sodas, plus 4 of these very cool Cardinals floppy caps. Compliments of MasterCard, the preferred card of the Cardinals. That's 4 Terrace Reserve tickets, 3 hot dogs and soda, and 4 Cardinals floppy caps. A $140 value, all for just $60. Now that's a Grand Slam.
Nice phone, Tori.
Thanks. It's a Kyocera. It's got text messaging, speakerphone, and it's so easy to use.
Doubt it's as easy as mine. I just dictate and it sends a text message. Text Mike. Thanks, Mike. I had fun last night.
Thanks, Mike. I have lip fungus.
I had fun, not lip fungus.
I have fungus. Lip fungus.
I don't have lip fungus!
Wireless phones by Kyocera. All the features, none of the hassles.
I do not have lip fungus.
Let it go.
The McDonald's Big Mac Value Meal has 50 grams of fat. The Subway Fresh Value Meal with a turkey sub has only 6. From the freshest ingredients to our delicious fresh baked breads. If you want to eat better and not give up taste, make the smarter choice. Choose Subway. Subway. Choose well.
Now we go to the 9th inning. The Cardinals lead this one 5-2 against the Dodgers, and Jason Isringhausen gets the call to try to get his 40th save of the year and pick up a victory for Woody Williams, who's looking for his 11th victory, and he is our call to the bullpen, brought to you by Seeger Toyota. Don't miss the summer clearance sale going on now at Seeger Toyota. They have big selection there. They always do, and they always have. Seeger Toyota is so sure that you'll be happy with your new Toyota that the owner will give you his home phone number. Seeger Toyota on Olive. Take a look at those numbers for Isringhausen, and he has been better in the last month than he's been all year long.
First pitch, base hit. Sean Green aboard for the 2nd time today, and that's how the top of the 9th gets underway. This game is far from over. Jason was 11 of 12 in saves in August. And he's posted saves each of his last 12 appearances.
And what I've liked about him, Bob, is not just that he's posted the saves and he's had those situations, but he's done it with some really dominant stuff. I think his fastball has improved, throws that cut fastball and the curveball. And I think in terms of actual pitch selection and stuff, he's as good as he's been all year.
Cardinals totally indifferent to Sean Green. Down to second base he goes. On ball 1, upstairs to Robin Ventura. Jason Isringhausen, of course, has never reached 40 saves before. He's already setting a career high every time out. His previous best, 34 with Oakland 3 years ago.
You know, why do the Cardinals let Sean Green go? Well, they want to keep John Mabry back at first base with the left-handed hitter Ventura. They don't want to take that range away by holding him on. Why do the Dodgers take it? Stay out of the double play.
You've answered both of my questions. This ball is hit hard, and Langford plays it on a hop. And suddenly the Dodgers have the tying run coming to the plate. Now their problem is they're down toward the bottom of their order. So it's Alex Cora, David Ross, and then the pitcher's spot, the next three. Alex Cora will muscle up occasionally and pull a ball out of the park. He's hit 8 home runs on the year.
If you're looking for power on that bench, Hee-Seop Choi is a choice. Grabowski has already hit in this game. Choi from the left side has shown flashes of power this year.
And that's a strike to Alex Cora. And again, the Cardinals playing behind the runner at first, but John Mabry not as deep now, because if he gets a ground ball, he can't be too deep. That would erase the double play possibility.
Yeah, that's halfway right there. He's going to pretend he's right behind him and kind of sneak in and then back up as the pitch is thrown home.
And on that play, you'll see first basemen tap their glove on a number of occasions to make a little noise to let that runner know they're right behind him.
John Shelby's job, the first base coach, is to inform the runner Ventura where John Mabry is. And all you're trying to do is keep him honest. You don't want to get thrown out stealing at second base, clearly in this situation, so he's not going to run unless he knows he's got a good jump. Cardinals is keeping him honest.
All right, couple little taps from Mabry there. And that ball almost hit Alex Cora.
The other thing you watch out for in this situation, when the first baseman is playing halfway, if it's a pitch off the inside part of the plate, Mike Matheny comes up in good position. It's a great opportunity to try to pick that runner off first base. And you know Mike Matheny's not afraid to throw.
Isringhausen ahead in the count here. Really jamming the left-hander with that fastball, elevating that thing enough that it was up right around his hands.
Let's see what Mike Matheny suggests. Change up.
Pitch usually ends up down low. John Green at third, singled leading off, went to second on a pitch, no stolen base, and then the third on the Robin Ventura base hit.
That changeup down in the zone is a good pitch to get a ground ball with and potentially a double play. And that makes Jason that much more effective when he's got that selection of pitches. The cutter is his best pitch. If it's a 3, that's probably what that is. And it looks like it's going to be a cutter on the inside part of the plate.
He got him on a pitch down low. And a big first out for Isringhausen. Our Budweiser play of the game brought to you by Bud. Grab a cold, fresh one. It's game time. And Rick, it's not always a big home run.
Well, this is an excellent defensive play. John Mabry catches the ball backhanded from Tony Womack, gets to the base in time. That kept the Dodgers from having a big inning. And not the way you designed that play, but it worked very well, and you had to have a little athleticism from John Mabry for it to work out.
I thought he looked very acrobatic myself. Olmedo signs batting for David Ross here. Now with one out, Cardinals will keep that runner a little more honest down there. Olmedo signs a 33-year-old veteran infielder who's had most of his career with Oakland. He loses the handle there.
Well, that's what happens when you're swinging at a fastball and it's a cutter. He saw fastball all the way, and that ball just died away from him and fooled him just enough to lose the handle of the bat.
Cardinals have turned 135 double plays this year. They'd love one here to end the game. Go get cleaned up, hop on the plane, and take on the Padres and the Dodgers. And a breaking ball high.
Jason Worth in the on-deck circle. He's due to pinch hit.
Guy with power.
He has 11 home runs on the year. Hee-Sop Choi has 15 home runs. Interesting, he's not the choice.
I think they like the way Jason Worth is swinging a whole lot better than Choi. And it's possible he won't even bet. We'll have to wait and see. 2 on, 1 out. Top of the ninth. Cardinals lead 5-2, trying to win their 9th in a row.
2-hopper to Hector Luna would keep Worth from hitting.
That would be worth it. Best blocker in baseball is Mike Matheny, and that's ball 3.
Pitch. Let's see what Mike suggests. There's that cut fastball. Just throw it for a strike, is it?
Got him on a breaking pitch. 2 outs, 1 out to go. When we wrap up the game for our St. Louis audience, the WB11 postgame show coming up. Don Bell in the studio with Scott Terry. Don's got a preview. Don, hopefully that'll be shortly. 1 more out to get. Number 9 spot in the batting order. Right-handed hitting power guy Jason Worth. 25 years of age. One of the players, the young guys, the Dodgers are very high on.
To have a microphone on that conversation right there. Just wanting to make sure everybody's got their signals right on how they're going to pitch to Jason Worth. He may be a guy they didn't talk about very much for this game since he wasn't in the lineup. Might have been a guy that Izzy hasn't faced yet, and want to make sure that Dave Duncan knows that Mike Matheny and Isringhausen are on the same page.
Crowd standing 43,611 paid today. So the Cardinals draw 90,000 in the final 2 games of the series, and around 127,000 for the 3-game set. Base hit. Sean Green scores. Stopping at second is Ventura. Worth delivers. It's a 5-3 game, and he represents the tying run now at first base.
Jason Isringhausen almost comes up with this ball as it's lined up the middle off the bat of Jason Worth. As we look at Tony La Russa's reaction to that base hit. What's it like to be a big league manager and watch this happen?
Well, here's where Jose Hernandez.
Not much reaction.
And you don't like to call a guy a strikeout hitter, but that's kind of what he is. he's got to find a way to put this ball in play and change his regular approach. He certainly does. It's up against the wall, and the Dodgers are going to tie this game. Runner going to third, and they can't field it cleanly. The save is gone. Woody's win is gone, and the Dodgers have a runner at third base. Jose Hernandez only in this game because Cesar Izturis came up with a bad stomach in the middle of the game.
You have to give the Dodgers some credit for not giving up. Hernandez lines a double into the right field corner, takes third on the throw home, and that's an excited Jason Worth who kept this rally going with a 2-out single. That's 2 2-out hits for the Dodgers here in the ninth.
This is the first time we've had a quiet ballpark in the ninth inning in some time. Now, we mentioned Steve Finley, the problems he's had in this series. He's 0 for 11. One ball, one strike. Another look at the 2-run pitch to Hernandez.
Look how low Mike Matheny is. He wants the ball down. It's just not quite down enough. It was a cut fastball that just didn't have enough movement on it. Hernandez saw it and hit it.
Finley pops it up. Matheny bumps into the umpire, finds the ball, catches the ball, and we're going to the bottom of the ninth inning. Not quite as quick and easy as maybe we thought, but a chance to win it coming up.
Beneath your home lies another home, the home of millions of hungry termites. With tunnels crisscrossing your yard, winding hundreds of feet, there's nothing termites won't do to ultimately eat you out of house and home. That was until the Centricon termite colony elimination system that monitors and baits to get termites where they live, today and tomorrow. Centricon is the only termite protection your house will ever need.
For all of your pest control services, call Advanced Pest Control Systems.
Who would you trust to bring leading-edge technology close to home? Southeast Missouri Hospital is the first hospital in Missouri to offer the revolutionary Novala-shaped beam surgery cancer treatment system. At Southeast Novala Center, cancer patients have access to the best and most precise technology.
It's doing real good. We're really thankful for the machine and the doctors here.
No ICU time, no hospital time. We left that same day.
The Regional Cancer Center at Southeast Missouri Hospital. Commitment to excellence. Trusted care.
Cataract removal doesn't have to include anxiety if you turn to someone with experience. The surgeons at Marriott Eye Centers and Optical have performed over 60,000 successful cataract surgeries and use the clear cornea incision. No shot, no stitch, no patch procedure. For pediatric eye care, glaucoma, laser vision correction, and retinal problems. Plus, low prices on glasses and contact lenses. If you think experience counts, you'll find total eye care at Marriott Eye Centers and Optical's convenient location.
Just when we thought we would not see Eric Gagne this weekend, maybe next weekend, here he is.
So much for a vacation. It also tells you that Jim Tracy stresses the importance of this game right here, that he's going to bring in Gagne. A lot of times you like to save your guy for safe situations. Of course, that's not going to happen now. It is the game on the line situation. Gagne can also go a couple of innings. He's proven that he can do that. There are times where they use him for 2 innings or more, and he has been unhittable for really much of the last 3 years of his career. Former starter, and he's certainly found a home in the bullpen, and probably the game's best, or one of the game's best. His consecutive save streak is just almost impossible to believe.
New battery, Brent Maine joins Eric Gagne. Tony Womack leads off, bottom of the ninth. Tony 1 for 4 with a double. You kidding me? 93 strikeouts, 15 walks. Oh, then he drops the little off-speed thing on you.
Filthy is again the baseball word that comes to mind.
very hard to even get the bat on the ball against this guy Gunn.
Cardinal baseball, KPLR TV, St. Louis. WB11. We thought we'd be getting into our post-game show right about now, but some more baseball to be played here.
You're watching Cardinal Baseball on WB49 WDKA, Paducah, Kentucky.
Next up will be So Taguchi, then Ray Lankford. So came into the ball game as the right fielder back in the 6th inning, had a double down the line that inning. And if you think about doubles today, they giveth and they taketh away. The Cardinals have had 2 ground rule doubles by Jim Edmonds that both hit the track and bounced over the wall, costing the Cardinals runners after they were stranded at third both times.
Game's over.
Yeah.
If those balls are a foot longer and they short hop the wall instead of bouncing over, that's 2 more RBIs for Jim Edmonds, and game's over.
Taguchi gets overpowered and pops it up on the infield. You would think Jason Isringhausen is certainly done after a rough inning. Cardinals have their bullpen busy again.
It's like Julian Tavares. Julian Tavares is getting loose. He's been a workhorse. And unless Ray Lankford can put in a charge to the baseball in this at-bat against the best short man in baseball, Tavares will be on to pitch in extra innings.
So you wanted some more baseball before the boys leave town, huh? 1 strike to Ray Lankford. Eric Gagne, 28 years of age, 6'2", 234. 107 saves the last 2 years, and now 37 more in 39 chances this year. Quickly 0-2. He's become a regular fixture in the All-Star game. Not always easy for a reliever to do. Ray's gone, Cardinals done in the ninth, and we're going to extra innings where the Dodgers are 9-2 this year. The Cardinals are 8-4. 9 innings in the scorebook, and we'll play some more.
Showed you some cowboy sitting around a campfire eating the new Western Bacon Thick Burger. But then, who'd want to watch that? The Western Bacon Thick Burger with Angus beef, new at Hardee's.
Check it out, the President Casino. It's better than ever.
Come see why the President Casino on Amarillo is better than ever.
More table games, the full house fun, to any excitement for everyone. With the losers slots and Missouri too. Come on in and we can party with you. Come on, check it out.
Come in today and start earning your very own set of 10th anniversary Admiral Collector glasses.
Pets Plus is your water garden headquarters with the expertise and the best product selection in the area. We are the serious water gardener's paradise. From fish of every size to pumps, filters, liners, and everything you can imagine. We have a bigger selection and higher quality of aquatic plants than anyone around. At Pets Plus, our experts will help you design and build a water garden of any size, from a tub container to as big as you can imagine. Create the backyard of your dreams. Pets Plus, over 21 years, the very best in aquariums and aquatic gardening.
Cardinal baseball on WB11, brought to you by Michelob Ultra. Lose the carbs, not the taste. By your local quality Ford dealers on both sides of the river. By Steak and Shake, real steak burgers, real milk milkshakes, 24 hours a day at Steak and Shake. And by your local Jeep dealers. Top of the 10th, Cardinals have a new pitcher, Julian Tavares. He pitched a scoreless ninth of the 5-1 victory here last night. Pretty good strikeout to walk numbers, good ERA. Can save a ball game when you need him to. Heart of the Dodgers order here, Bradley, Beltre, and Green coming up.
Eric Gagne showing why he is one of the tops in this game. We talked about balls have a little hop in it. There's one right there. That ball almost hops out of the glove of the catcher, Brent Maine. A lot of movement and a lot of velocity from Eric Gagne.
Is a fastball with hop harder to catch?
You bet it is. You better concentrate.
That ball bunted in the air. Milton Bradley acting like a leadoff guy and bunting it like a middle of the order guy.
I tell you, anytime Julian Tavares has to do something defensively, I always kind of cringe trying to figure out what he might do. Barehanded, catch it with his hat.
He had that ball all the way.
He did, but he just worries me a little. Let's just put it that way.
Rick, don't worry. It's 2004.
Yeah.
It's a different year.
Worry's not the right word.
Is concern better than worry? Yeah. Adrian Beltre, 1 for 4 with a home run today. That is a clean Sunday cap.
Of course.
There's a half swing. Matheny hollering, go, go. Tavares does. 2 down. This is the best infield chatter game I've heard in quite a while.
Matheny's going to be hoarse by the time this game is over.
That's all right.
I think he would at least tell him in Spanish.
Andale?
I don't know. Get over.
Something like that.
Va por allá. Va por allá.
Here's Sean Green. He got the mess started back in the 9th with a leadoff hit against Jason Isringhausen. Tavares sinking that ball.
You know, Tavares' issue with his hat is not a new issue to Dodger fans. Dodger fans remember Jay Howell having an experience just like Julian Tavares has had this year, where he got suspected of having pine tar on his hat in the playoffs in 1988, and he was suspended for 2 games in the middle of the playoffs.
Wow. Against
the Mets. I was in that bullpen. I saw that pine tar. He was penalized, and he was the stopper on the team at that point. That's like taking your Gagne or taking your Isringhausen. You're still able to beat the Mets and then go on to beat Oakland in the World Series, but somebody noticed, just like they did with Tavares, that there was a substance that didn't quite understand what it was. Of course, that's open for discussion right now with Tavares, what that really was, and it's still under appeal.
4-pitch walk after 2 outs. That'll bring up Robin Ventura. You would love to see the Cardinals just put an end to this inning right now, because some big guns are coming up in the bottom of the 10th. Cardinals haven't had a hit since the 6th. The Dodgers went from the 5th till 2 outs in the 8th without getting one. And here at Busch Stadium, it's just past 4 o'clock local time. Shadows are creeping. Left field is a tough sun field late in the season after 4 o'clock here in St. Louis. Sun setting to the west, which is to our right. If you look from home plate to center field, that is a straight line to the southeast. The new ballpark will be laid out opposite this. Here's Ray in the sun field. Langford's got it. And the Cardinals are going to the bottom of the 10th, and guess who's coming? There will be Rowland. There will be Edmonds. There will be Mabry. There might only be one.
Announcing the grand finale at your Lincoln Mercury dealer. Your last chance to get incredible model year-end savings on every 2004 Lincoln & Mercury in stock, including the Mercury Grand Marquis, with the only standard V8 and the largest trunk in its class, plus the government's highest 5-star safety rating in all 5 categories. All for around $19,635 after $4,000 cash back, plus an additional $1,000 when you finance through Ford Credit. Get to the grand finale at your Lincoln Mercury dealer before time runs out.
Are you looking for a diamond that is revolutionizing the way we think of diamond cutting? A diamond whose brilliance will set you apart from the rest? The Lucere diamond, with its emerald cut crown and brilliant cut pavilion, has redefined brilliance. It is a diamond with a cut that is as unique and beautiful as you are. Live, love, laugh, light, brilliance. The Lucere diamond, available at Hildebrand Jewelers on the Square in Perryville.
When someone has been badly hurt, seriously injured, they come through that door and expect us to make it right. Their future is at stake, and they don't need lawyers who look at the clock or push papers around. They need a personal injury law firm that takes their injury personally. They not only want that, they deserve that. And we are here to make certain that they get the attention they deserve.
We go bottom 10. Eric Gagne, second inning of work. His first was pretty brief. You get a bouncing ball on Womack. A pop fly to Gucci. Struck out Langford. But he has some different kind of hitters to deal with now.
There's going to be some great at-bats this inning. Scott Rowland leading it off with Jim Edmonds. And remember, we have Albert Pujols and Edgar Renteria on the bench to deal with, potentially.
Rowland goes up and takes a rip.
You know, you feel bad for Woody Williams, who gets a no decision in this game.
Tony West almost taken out by a foul ball along with our robotic camera. And Scott Rowland now in the 0-2 hole very quickly.
Woody has lost 2 games that he could have won this year and has had 3 no decisions in games where he was winning and the lead was lost for him. So Woody could be sitting on 14 or 15 wins very easily.
Wow. There's an 0-2 pitch for you. 97 miles an hour. Up around the birds on the bat. Scott Rowland has an 0 for today. Haven't been able to say that much this year. Scott in this series 2 for 10.
Got the idea that Scott was willing to let that 0-2 pitch hit him. And from Gagne, that's pretty gutsy right there.
Whoa, another one.
Did it again.
So you think you're going to get an outside slider after a high-tight fastball, huh?
That's called doubling up. You throw one inside, you think that you might be setting up away, and you double up on the inside and have to hit that slider now. No, he wants to go to that changeup.
That one just drifted inside. I don't know if the umpire got fooled. Gagne thought he had strike 3.
I think he did get fooled by this because this is a great changeup. It fooled Scott Rowland. I think it caught a lot of that inside corner of the plate.
And Gagne is not
3-2.
He's not one to go stomping around the mound, but he did go for a little stroll right there. Now he paws the dirt, gets back on the rubber. Looked like another changeup, and Rowland got a piece of it.
Well, you want to be a big league closer. You want to get a great big contract. Get 40 saves in the big leagues. Be willing to throw a 3-2 changeup to Scott Rowland in a tie game in extra innings, and the job's yours.
Scott turns on that one, fouls it upstairs. Where do you apply for such a job?
Well, you apply in the minor leagues, and you learn year after year to get command of one pitch or another. It's one thing to have 4 pitches in your repertoire, and it's another thing to throw them with a 3-2 count in an extra inning game when your team needs it. And that shows me he has, and it's not hard to understand, that Gagne would have command of 3 different pitches.
What a battle.
Make him work.
Scott Rowland was behind 0-2 quickly. It's now a 9-pitch at bat when this one heads home.
The swings keep getting better and better. Each pitch from Gagne. Last 2 pitches, he's challenged him inside with that fastball, and you better be sure you get it in on Scott Rowland. Scott looking more and more comfortable in this at bat.
High gas, and he got him. A great 10th inning battle, and Eric Gagne gets a big first out.
Wow, that's some pitch right there. Gagne shook off the slider, the fastball in, the changeup, the curveball. He wanted the fastball away, and on the 3-2 count, he hits his spot exactly, high and away. Brent Mayne lets him know he appreciates him hitting that glove exactly, and that's why Gagne is as good as he is, hitting those spots 3 and 2.
Jim Edmonds having a big day. 3 for 4, 3 doubles, 2 runs and RBI, but robbed of another RBI, maybe 2, by balls bouncing over the wall.
So hard to hit that changeup from Gagne because you have to be geared up for the 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and the timing has to be so quick to be ready to hit that pitch. When he drops one of those changeups on you, you're about to screw you into the ground. The catcher Brent Mayne checking the feet of Jim Edmonds just to see if he makes any adjustment in the batter's box. Saw no adjustment, went back with a 3rd straight changeup. My guess is he'll get another one. Fastball away. Changeup.
Jim Edmonds came into this game homering in 5 of his last 7, 7 of his last 10 after a bomb here last night. The 300th of his career. He's been driving the ball all day long here.
You know, it's hard to look bad in a Dodger uniform. It's one of the nicest uniforms in all of baseball. And well, let's just say Eric Gagne is probably not going to be modeling that uniform in any fashion show anytime soon.
Whoa.
There's that fastball up and in. If you're looking away, you better watch out.
Two balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, bottom 10. Edmonds is gone. 3 strikeouts in a row for Eric Gagne. This guy, you may battle him, you may extend him, but he always seems to be able to come up with something. Now, John Mabry is a very impatient hitter. He'll be looking for a fastball.
Well, Gagne shakes back to the changeup again, and it's down in the zone. The bottom drops out of it. Jim Edmonds is fooled by it. You know, he might have even seen it coming. He still couldn't hit it. That's how good Gagne's changeup is. A lot like Mario Soto had one of the best changeup I've ever seen. And his changeup was so good that he could tell you that it was coming, and he still couldn't hit it.
And obviously no first pitch fastball to Mabry. Dodgers have seen enough of that. John left the yard 8 innings ago for his 9th of the year to give the Cardinals an early 2-1 lead after Beltre had homered. Boy, it is really tough to get any kind of timing on this guy. Trevor Hoffman is more of a guy who would come in and blow you away, mix it up with an occasional changeup. And Eric Gagne has such a repertoire. He's so confident in going into any pitch, any count. That's a breaking ball.
Hadn't seen one yet. That's his curveball, as if he doesn't have enough pitches. Pretty nice overhand curveball. Used that more when he was a starter. Not a very effective starter with the Dodgers, but he has been something else as a reliever.
Cardinals are getting some pretty lame swings right now at Eric Gagne. The only good news about this, in the 11th, he's due to bat 3rd, so this could be it for him. Hacks one down to first, charged well by Ventura. We're going to the 11th. And again, the only good news about this, maybe Gagne is done after 2 dominant innings.
Who would you trust to bring leading-edge technology close to home? Southeast Missouri Hospital is the first hospital in Missouri to offer the revolutionary Novalis-shaped beam surgery cancer treatment system. At Southeast Novalis Center, cancer patients have access to the best and most precise technology, and a radiation oncology team with more than 140 years of combined experience means you have world-class cancer care close to home. The Regional Cancer Center at Southeast Missouri Hospital. Commitment to excellence. Trusted care.
A set of 4 13-inch passenger tires as low as $100. 14-inch only $139.95. Where? Plaza Tire Service. Tires that fit perfectly. Save now at Plaza Tire Service on truck and SUV tires from major brand names. Dayton Timberline's on sale as low as $64.95. Plaza Tire Service. Tires that fit your truck or SUV perfectly.
Price, selection, convenience, savings, service. Plaza Tire Service. Tires that fit perfectly.
At the Dodge Labor Day clearance, things are moving fast. During Labor Day weekend, get huge deals on the best selection of the remaining 2004 Dodges. Grab the tough Dodge Ram 1500 Quad Cab with 0% financing plus $1,000 cash allowance and $1,500 in bonus cash. Or grab huge cash allowances on the rugged Dakota or the roomy Durango, plus our 770 powertrain limited warranty. So hurry in for the best selection of 04s during the Dodge Labor Day clearance.
Ray King will be the Cardinals' 5th pitcher of the day. He had a 1-batter appearance here last night.
He's been great all year. The 2.45 earned run average, and how about that opponent's batting average, 209. Had a rough streak for about a week and a half or so late last month, but seems to have righted himself. And what you really like about Ray King is he's got the 2 hard fastballs, a good sinking fastball, a good rising fastball. And he pitches with a lot of guts. He pitches very aggressively. You really like a pitcher, particularly coming out of the bullpen, who's aggressive. Now, there's a guy that does not have a very aggressive posture right now. Edgar Renteria with the day off. You know, it's hard for these guys to get a full day off, and as long as the season is, mentally as much as physically, it's nice to just be able to just chill.
Yeah. And they've got Edmonds rolling. Going to be a very long day for them with Tony Womack, Mike Matheny. Guys who could have really benefited from just a 9-inning game today. Top of the 11th, bottom of the order for the Dodgers. Alex Cora leads off. The catcher Brent Maine after him, and then the pitcher spot. And Rick, I doubt if they'll hit Eric Gagne here. He's in a slump. He's 0 for 1 this year.
Well, I don't think they're going to throw him out there for a 3rd inning. There is action in the Dodger bullpen, and that's good news. Anybody but Gagne.
Ray King quickly ahead of Alex Cora, who's 0 for 4 today.
I'd rather face Sandy Koufax, I think, than Eric Gagne.
How about Giovanni Carrara? bet Sandy Koufax would get some people out. I mean, after all, he's in his 60s.
Probably still could. He's still in great shape. You talk about nice guys around the game of baseball. As that fastball, Cora was probably about 1 inch from hitting him on the fingers. That's how much he got jammed on that pitch. But Sandy Koufax is a kind gentleman. Spent some time working with some of the pitchers in Los Angeles in the 80s and beyond, and just a kind man. Everybody loves this guy, and what a great competitor he was. What a great pitcher he was for a short period of time. Sandy was not around very long. Maybe 4 or 5 really, really great years.
Yeah, and the best ever during that time.
No doubt.
I remember the Cardinals and Dodgers battling in '63. The Cardinals won 19 of 20 games in September. The Dodgers came to town ahead by 3. They swept the Cardinals 3 in a row, and that was it for that pennant race and the career of Stan Musial. Cardinals would win it the following year after Stan retired. But that September of '63 was one of the most memorable ever in the annals of Cardinals Dodgers.
Koufax won the Cy Young in 1963, 65, 66.
Yeah, then of course the Dodgers went to the World Series in '63 and swept the Yankees. Koufax, Drysdale, Johnny Podres, Ron Piranowski, Maury Wills.
Koufax's number is one of the many retired Dodger numbers. He was number 32 in his 12-year career. Just 165 wins, but only 87 losses.
That sounded like a busted bat. Mabry to King. Ray does a jitterbug and gets the runner. Sandy Koufax was as wild as any young pitcher ever in baseball until he figured it out.
John Mabry's had a year's worth of this play right here today. That little short roller, that's the tough play. You got to get it to the pitcher on the run. And for a left-handed pitcher to turn back over his shoulder and pick up the ball is a tough thing. Ray gets there as quick as he can. He's got to look back, but touch the base going forward. Very easy to stumble, miss the bag, get run over by the hitter. A lot of bad things can happen. Cardinals have had 3 or 4 of those plays this afternoon and gotten it right every time.
Ray changes speeds on Brent Mayne. Veteran catcher, batting .215 overall, 145 since coming to the Dodgers after they sent Paul Loduca to the Marlins. Ray King is throwing well, isn't he? Getting ahead of guys. He has them off balance.
Of all these Dodger hitters, Brent Mayne actually has the highest batting average against the Cardinals in his lifetime, which you might not think, but he's been very productive against the Redbirds. Sees the ball and hits the ball well here in Busch Stadium as he tries the third base line off the left-hander King, just trying to protect the plate. We'll take a look at his numbers. 347. Fairly high number of RBIs in those plate appearances, 15 RBIs.
And King whiffs him. Now Buddy Bates only works the home games now. One of the Cardinals senior clubhouse guys. He'll let Rip Rowan worry about the road trip.
Well, Buddy told me this morning that we heard his feelings when we talked about how you had to be pretty thick-skinned to be in Buddy's clubhouse. He says, "You're making me sound like I'm a bad guy." And I said, "No, Buddy, you just know how to do the verbal barbs that are part of major league clubhouses." And what a great servant Buddy Bates was to the players as he had that job and took care of all the needs of the players and made you feel comfortable your very first day in a big league camp. Buddy Bates made me feel comfortable.
He started as a teenager as a Cardinal bat boy down here, a lot like Jerry Risch, who works over in the visitors clubhouse. And those guys just kept plugging away year after year after year. They know this game as well as anybody.
Their responsibility is all the equipment. Again, Rip Rowan doing that job now for the Cardinals. All the equipment, making sure all the bags get to the airport, bags get to the right place, uniforms get washed. And there are times where they have to put up with some demanding players. Not all, but there are.
That never happens.
Every club's got a few that want their shoes shined a certain way.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Hee-Sop Choi, batting in the number 9 spot here. Ray King tried to make quick work of the Dodgers in the top of the 11th. The Cardinals have Luna, Matheny, then the pitcher's spot due up in the bottom.
Every time I see Buddy Bates, he loves to tell the story about how I lost it one time in the clubhouse myself. I threw my glove, I threw my chair, I threw everything I could find in my locker after getting knocked out of a game. I was, let's just say I was not acting very nicely, and Buddy loves to tell everybody I meet.
Well, you're so squeaky clean now.
Well,
Rick.
Buddy just, Buddy knows better.
You know, you have this image.
Well, you should have seen me that day, Bob. That's all I can tell you. And if you want to hear that story, you can just ask Buddy Bates, and he'll be glad to tell you.
As soon as the Cardinals win it in the 11th, I'm running right down there. 2-2 to Hee-Sop Choi. And Hee-Sop hanging tough here against a very difficult left-hander, Ray King. Boston won their game 6-5 with a scare in the 9th as Texas got 4. Yankees batting bottom 9, still tied with the Orioles. They've got to win that game to stay 2.5 up on Boston. In this league, Houston won its game 10-5 over the Pirates, and they're a game and a half behind the Cubs now. Amazing what that club has been able to do. 2-2 pitch. This one driven to left center. Long run for Edmonds. He's there. And here come the Birds in the bottom of the 11th. It's been a series dominated by pitching, with the exception of an inning or two here and there.
Who would you trust to bring leading-edge technology close to home? Southeast Missouri Hospital is the first hospital in Missouri to offer the revolutionary Novala-shaped beam surgery cancer treatment system. At Southeast Novala Center, cancer patients have access to the best and most precise technology.
It's doing real good. We're really thankful for the machine and the doctors here.
No ICU time, no hospital time. We left that same day.
The Regional Cancer Center at Southeast Missouri Hospital. Commitment to excellence. Trusted care.
A set of 4 13-inch passenger tires as low as $100. 14-inch only $139.95. Where? Plaza Tire Service. Tires that fit perfectly. Save now at Plaza Tire Service on truck and SUV tires from major brand names. Dayton Timberline's on sale as low as $64.95. Plaza Tire Service. Tires that fit your truck or SUV perfectly.
Price, selection, convenience, savings, service. Plaza Tire Service. Tires that fit perfectly.
Get ready for a whole new kind of Dodge. Introducing the all-new Magnum SXT with a 3.5-liter high-output engine and all-speed traction control. Open it up and find a tri-fold cargo floor, unique access liftgate, even a powerful Boston acoustic sound system. Dodge Magnum SXT, a whole different ride. Velocity meets versatility. The all-new Magnum starting at $22,495, only at your Dodge dealer.
From Venezuela, 36-year-old veteran right-hander Giovanni Carrara. With the Blue Jays for a couple of years back in the 90s, the Reds, the Rockies, and the Dodgers 01-02. 23 games for Seattle last year, and here he is back with L.A.
His numbers are not exactly the same as Eric Gagne's, but they're not too shabby. A .95 ERA and just 12 walks to go with 36 strikeouts in his 38 innings. And he does have 2 saves to his credit, 4-1 record. And he is in his second stint with the Dodgers, and his job is to keep the Cardinals scoreless, and Hector Luna is his first responsibility.
Hector Luna's shining moment back in the 5th inning. A 2-run single with the bases loaded. Gave the Cardinals a 5-2 lead. It stayed that way till the 9th. when the Dodgers got to Jason Isringhausen for 3 runs on 4 hits. This ball driven to right center. On the run, Sean Green. It's over his head. High hop off the wall. That may get Hector to third, and yes, it will.
Another big hit by Hector Luna. He had a 2 RBI base hit in the 5th inning. Now a leadoff triple as Finley comes all the way from center field. Sean Green doesn't come up with it. Gets the ball quickly into the infield, making a close play at third base. And Hector Luna was thinking triple all the way. He drives this ball with a lot of power. Not sure whether it's going to get over his head. And he sees 3 and gets to third base with nobody out in the Cardinal 11th. We mentioned the Cardinals are 73-2 when they lead after 7 innings. Jason Isringhausen giving up 3 in the 9th inning puts that mark in jeopardy. But Hector Luna gets the Cardinals off to a good start in the 11th.
Cardinals have announced Reggie Sanders as the pinch hitter. And a chance to win it here in the 11th. Reggie is 6 for 12 as a pinch hitter this year. Amazing numbers with 6 RBIs. The big question is, will the Dodgers pitch to it? Infield in. The number 9 spot is next, and there's nobody in the on-deck circle at the moment.
Well, Reggie's a guy that can elevate the ball into the outfield. He's also a guy that strikes out quite a bit. So it's an interesting choice by Tony La Russa. He's swinging the bat well.
Up the middle, Cardinals win. Seven pinch hit RBIs for Reggie Sanders this year.
First base, they are mobbing Reggie Sanders, who did it with 1 pitch. Don't hurt that boy now. Let's go. I thought Reggie would come up all smiles, and the crowd is all smiles and appreciative of the extra inning RBI from veteran Reggie Sanders.